From the emergency response team in Concern Worldwide. Right now, millions of Ukrainian families are in urgent need of vital humanitarian assistance. Will you help us to reach them? Call 0818 211 844 or visit concern.net today and give what you can. Thank you.
Hola, salut, diagwich. With over 4,000 lawyers and 87 offices around the world, including Madrid, Paris and Dublin, if you have a legal challenge that needs global experience and local know-how, we'd love to say hello. DLA Piper, your local global legal people.
Could you tell the difference between a cancerous mole and a non-cancerous mole? At Dermview Dermatology, we can and we do. We are now accepting new patients so you can get access to Dermview's largest group of consultant dermatologists within days. Find us at dermview.ie or free phone 1800 911 665. Dermview Dermatology, treating everything on your skin from acne to skin cancer. Ireland's largest consultant dermatology group.
Magic Goes Wrong by Mischief, Myself, Penn, and Teller. Includes smoke, flashing lights, loud noises, partial nudity, fire, blood, broken glass, a live bear, more pyrotechnics than are necessary, knives, arrogance, desperation, and a quantity of glitter that some may find offensive. Book now to ensure disappointment.
Magic Goes Wrong, live at Bord Gáis Energy Theatre from the 10th to the 14th of May. Tickets from €16 are on sale now. Booking fees may apply. See bordgaisenergytheatre.ie.
In business, leadership is not a fixed position. It's about constantly adapting, moving and forging new relationships to respond to the challenges of your business. As a member of the Institute of Directors, you're connected to Ireland's most dynamic network of business leaders. We offer the support and backup of free online resources, expert advice and inspirational events, even complimentary access to airport lounges. So take the lead and join Ireland's business leaders at iodireland.ie.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky. Watch big games from the Women's Super League live on Sky Sports.
Welcome back to the Aviva Stadium. We are just awaiting the team's arrival, as you might hear behind me.
At this side, you get behind.
FAI expecting 30,000, hoping for 30,000. I think we'll be a bit short of that, although we do like a late arrival. The team news again, if you missed it: Cleven Keller in goal, Dara O'Shea, Nathan Collins, John Egan in the back three, Matt Doherty at right wing back, Ryan Manning gets the nod at left wing back. He's played 36 times for Swansea in the Championship this year. Conor Howrahan and Alan Brown are in midfield. We have Ogbonne, Robinson and Will Keane leading the line. So Seamus Coleman, Shane Duffy, Josh Cullen, Jason Knight, James McMahon, Jeff Hendrick with their feet up on the bench. Well-earned rest after Saturday. Well, Ireland should win this game. That's our starting point here, Stewie. Lithuania are 137th in the world rankings. They did have a win on Friday against San Marino, who are 210th, but generally winning games is not their thing. So what are we looking out for this evening?
Well, I think up until Saturday's game, Joe, I think there was definitely a need for us to kind of maybe take it on a step further. You know, we'd gone through that whole phase of, yes, it's a transition period, we're trying to blood new younger players, we're trying to get players that aren't getting regular football, we're trying to embed them into the international team. Stephen Kenny needs a new contract. All that's out of the way now. You'd like to think that we're in a position now, especially after the 2-2 draw against the number one team in the world, albeit a weakened Belgian side, but we're certainly in a position now to take this on a step further. And to answer your question, yes, I think this is a game we need to go and win. We can't lose sight of the fact that we need to maintain that that style of football that we've been building on, that possession-based game, that sort of play with purpose, because it is very important that the crowd are, on the same wavelength as the team and vice versa. So it all kind of works together in reality. But results, putting the ball into the back of the net, which had been a huge issue for us, it is not an issue now, and confidence is there. We're creating opportunities, we're creating chances, and most importantly, we're putting away those chances.
I think that's maybe the most encouraging thing about what's happening of late, is that in 5 games Ireland have scored 12 goals. Traditionally, we're not a high-scoring team. It's a long time since we've been one, if ever. and we're now creating chances and scoring goals. So you go back, for instance, to that defeat in this ground to Luxembourg. Since then, the defeat to Portugal away, 1-0 draw with Azerbaijan, 1-0 draw with Serbia, 3-0 win against Azerbaijan, 0-0 with Portugal, and then wins against Luxembourg and Qatar as well, and obviously the game against Belgium. What's been the big difference for you in performance from the defeat to Luxembourg versus what we're seeing of late?
Well, I've always maintained, even during those darker days where we just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net, I always maintained that it would come as long as you were continuing to create opportunities. Now, we weren't creating an awful lot of opportunities in those games, but what we were doing, we were backing ourselves in how we played possession football, and those chances that we were creating were coming off the back of good football rather than an innocuous chance opportunity from a ball that was knocked 70 yards and flicked on from a header. But there was kind of purpose to the opportunities that we were creating. The difference was there was a lack of conviction, and it wasn't just the forward players. It was all around the team. A lack of conviction to really go and bang if there's a header there, or if I'm within 12 yards, just go and put it into the back and they hit that target with a bit of pace, and that was never there. Confidence was low, but it's come, and it's come at a time when I don't know, this whole thing of COVID, coming out of COVID, there's just been a feel-good factor about everything. I think Callum Robinson, to give him his credit, has been a big help there. He just seems to have played like, he just doesn't care. I'm going to shoot him anywhere, and I'm going to let these guys know that, don't get your head down. If it doesn't go on the back of the net, just get back on the horse again, just try again.
President Michael D. Higgins is on the pitch to meet the players. Obviously, this has been a tradition over the last number of years, which was halted due to COVID, but we're able to press ahead with it once again. Please rise for the Lithuanian national anthem. And now we'll take the Lithuanian national anthem. There we are. We are almost ready to go here at the Aviva Stadium. Full commentary with Stuey Byrne and Nathan Murphy.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Joe. A foggy night in Dublin for this clash of the Republic of Ireland and Lithuania. The world number 1 side, Belgium, were in town on Saturday. Tonight, it is the world number 137. The Republic of Ireland side are on the pitch in their new home kit, green jerseys, white shorts and green socks. That won't change, while the Lithuanians are getting set just down to our left-hand side for their team photo, all in yellow. Not quite the full house, or almost, that we had here on Saturday night. The FAI estimating that over 30,000 tickets were sold. I'm not sure on a school night of a Tuesday if we're going to quite get that, but still a decent crowd in for a game of this size. The Republic of Ireland captain for the night is John Egan. That is because Seamus Coleman drops to the bench in one of 6 changes for the Republic of Ireland team. But a proud night yet again for John Egan, who is one of 5 Cork men in the Republic of Ireland starting 11. One of them is Caoimhín Kelleher, who keeps his place in goal. Once again, it'll be a back 3. The youth of Darragh O'Shea and Nathan Collins alongside the captain John Egan. Matt Doherty, the right wing back. Ryan Manning, the left wing back, with Conor Howran and Alan Brown both coming into the side and adding plenty of experience in the middle of midfield. And then the front 3 will be Chidozie Ogbena after his star turn on Saturday, Callum Robinson and Will Keane. Lithuania are lining up in the centre circle, so too are the Republic of Ireland. As we had on Saturday night, we will have a moment of reflection for those in Ukraine, and the Republic of Ireland's next international at this stadium is scheduled to be against Ukraine on the June bank holiday weekend. We wait to see if that can happen. As you can hear, the Ukrainian ambassador has been invited along to today's game, and everybody around the Aviva Stadium gets to their feet in applause for a moment of solidarity with the people of Ukraine. And they all hope that at some stage the Ukrainian football side will be able to come here to Dublin over the next year for that match. But really, in terms of significance right now, well, it's not all that important. Tonight's match referee is Belgium, Bran van Driessen. And the Republic of Ireland and Lithuania both gather in their huddles. 53106 is the text number. It is a friendly, so we might give you a shout out if you're listening anywhere around the world. You can tweet myself at Nathan Murphy, or tweet at Off the Ball. I don't know, Stewie. Friendlies, I'm always worried. Has he brought the jokes?
We'll see. You never know. I'll tell you what, I can't remember the last time Ireland started playing from left to right. That's
I can't.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Really? Didn't know.
And the exact same thing happened. They were preparing to play down the other way, and when the coin toss happened, they switched ends. So it'd be interesting to find out afterwards, was that their decision?
Who won the toss?
Or the opposition's decision? All the players have taken the knee, and we are through the formalities, and we are ready to go at the Aviva Stadium. A clear night with that little bit of fog, but no sign of any rain really, and it is Lithuania who get us started. A Lithuanian side who did win on Friday night against San Marino, but in their 12 matches in 2021, just the one victory, and that was against Bulgaria, and they have got quite a lot of inexperience in their starting 11 tonight. It's a match that on paper the Republic of Ireland will expect to win. Remember, just one defeat in 11 in the last year. That started this night last year with a friendly against Qatar, and really it's been onwards and upwards ever since then for Ireland, who are in possession now. And it is Alan Brown, goal scorer on Saturday night, who gets it to this near side to Matt Doherty, one of those to keep his place. Thought he might be one to drop out, but maybe there's not a real like for like unless he was to play Coleman there, with Doherty playing a lot of first team football at the moment, thankfully once again with Tottenham. Throw in by Veit Kunis is down the left hand touchline for Lithuania, who in that all yellow strip are attacking down to our left hand side. That smaller stand is completely empty and has been kept completely empty. The stadium is still up all right actually over the last few minutes, and I'd say looking towards a crowd of over 25,000.
Reading Stephen Kenny's notes, Nathan, I think he might have mentioned the figure of 34,000. I don't know whether they had sold that amount, but you never know. You mentioned it, Thursday or Tuesday evening, schools and work and all that kind of stuff. People might still get here.
And here's Nathan Collins to John Egan, and it is John Egan who has taken that senior role in the centre of the back three for the Republic of Ireland. Been playing on the left-hand side recently, but at club level with Sheffield United always through the middle. You would have thought in a way maybe Collins was the more like-for-like replacement, as a similar size to Shane Duffy. But the experience of Egan through the middle. He was outstanding on Saturday night against Belgium. Tries to build and drill a diagonal ball down to this near side to Matt Doherty. Doesn't quite come off. It is Bennett on the right, Robinson on the left, and Will Keane through the middle. Ireland earned themselves a throw-in, and Alan Brown has it down this right-hand touchline. Goes back into the centre circle to O'Shea. O'Shea on the left, Collins on the right, and Darragh O'Shea back after that terrible ankle fracture against Portugal in the starting 11 again. And now it comes to Doherty. Slow build-up from Ireland, and a little bit too slow. Allows Lithuania to pounce in there with Utkas. However, Collins comes forward quickly and had a little bit more time than he thought just inside the Lithuanian half, and fires it back to the Lithuanian goalkeeper Bartkus.
Certainly the early indications from Ireland is they're moving the ball quite well. There's an element of confidence about the team, especially in their passing and in the pace of their passing. Brown on that particular occasion just a zinging one from right to left into John Egan. Looking at Lithuania, quite a flat 4-4-2. I think they're going to sit in really and try and frustrate us a little bit, make us play. So an opportunity for Ireland to get comfortable in possession and move the ball quick.
Will Keane is penalised for just being a little bit over physical.
A little bit Andy Carrollish, is it, Nathan?
Is that just the long hair?
He has that stature, doesn't he? Big physical stature. Left one in on the Lithuanian defender.
And Vaitkunas is left just holding his jaw. There will be a free kick to Lithuania. Third cap tonight for Will Keane, but his first start, his brother was a Republic of Ireland underage international, Michael Keane, the Everton centre half. Played for Ireland at underage level. Will never did, but they've reversed fortune since then. Now Ireland building down the left-hand side. Galway's Ryan Manning drills it in low, drills it in a little bit too early. Both Keane and Ogbene were caught somewhat on their heels and back in the arms of the Lithuanian keeper.
Yeah, first opportunity for Manning to get away down that left-hand side. A good build-up play from Ireland. Midfielder tucking in, allow Manning to pick up position wide on that left-hand side. And he got away well. He had an opportunity to get a really good ball in the box. Failed to deliver, so early nerves for him maybe.
Hard to know quite what the pecking order is over in that left wing back position. Enda Stevens is injured at the moment. He came straight back in after a period out for the match against Serbia. James McLean started on Saturday, and obviously you have the option, if Seamus Coleman was to play at wing back, of Matt Doherty actually playing on the left hand side. But Ryan Manning gets another opportunity tonight. He wins his 6th cap for Ireland and just his 2nd start. He played in a match against Bulgaria in the Nations League, where it was a really difficult night, if I remember correctly, as Ireland attacked down the right hand side. Will Keane just miscontrols the ball under a little bit of pressure from the Lithuanian defender, and the ball rolls out of play for a goal kick to the visitors.
Yeah, just a few cobwebs at the moment. I know there's been a number of changes in the Ireland team. Approach play is decent enough at the moment. Keane a little bit guilty of possibly taking his eye off the ball there, a little bit too preoccupied by the defender who was marking him. Yeah, just took his eye off the ball and ended up coming off his foot and straight out for a goal kick. So
and that section behind the Lithuanian keeper, Džiugas Bartkus, is the most packed section, the singing section in the Aviva. A strong header from Collins, a nephew of the League of Ireland legend Eamon Collins. And back it goes to Caoimhín Kelleher. He rolls it then to the feet of O'Shea, and Conor Howerhan drops deep. Quick 1-2 with Robinson. Howerhan turns, and over the halfway line it goes to Manning on the Irish left-hand side. Forward quickly then to the feet of Keane. Keane helps it on. Can Robinson keep it in play? He does. Very well down by the corner flag, but then the Lithuanian player plays it off Robinson, but it deflects off the Lithuanian defender Utkas last, and it goes out of play for a first corner kick of the game, and it goes to Ireland over on the far side of the pitch. Callum Robinson thought about taking it quickly, but Conor Howerhan says, leave it to me.
That may well be the part of the pitch where we get a little bit of joy. Nathan again down that left hand side, Manning finding himself in a little bit of space. Keane was willing to work the channels there on that particular occasion. Good movement from the front three, good chance to get a good delivery from Howerhan.
The three centre halves have all gone forward, and it might come towards John Egan. He just couldn't get there. An important header from the Lithuanian player, and it's sent back in on the volley acrobatically from Ryan Manning from, he must have been 35 yards out. It was always just drifting slightly to the left, but the keeper was at full stretch and it had the stadium on their feet for a split second. But Ryan Manning's volley goes to the left and wide.
Just could have crossed it, Nathan, didn't he? He's all about 30 yards out there. You could see it was sitting up for him. Came out from the corner, cleared by the Lithuanian defender. Good header clear, but Ryan Manning picking up that position on the edge of the box. Says why not? It's bouncing nicely for him. He had a little crack, just kind of cut across it with his left foot, caught too much side spin. Didn't really worry the goalkeeper, but got a few oohs anyway.
Sort of moment when you go to bed last night, you're dreaming of that sort of opportunity.
They're the ones that get away. Absolutely.
Stewie special.
That would have just passed that, to be honest, if it hadn't been me. Straight back out to the
ultimate team player, never wanted the glory. Now here is Nathan Collins. You'd expect he'll get plenty of opportunities at Burnley over the next couple of years. Spent £15 million to bring him from Stoke. Has had to play second fiddle at times this season to Tarkowski and me, two very experienced players, but when any of them have been injured, Collins has been straight in, and the expectation is that Tarkowski is certainly going to leave. We'll have to wait and see what happens with Burnley, whether they're a Premier League team or a Championship side, but either way you'd expect Nathan Collins to be a first choice player for Burnley next season. Control from Robinson, and then he releases Howerton. On it goes to Manning again on the left hand side. Sends it in low to Bennett, who's in an offside position. The flag is up. Well, I thought he'd managed to get his fourth goal in just 7 international appearances. They absolutely love him at this stadium. He got the biggest cheer when they went through the Irish 11 before the game, but Ireland looking so dangerous, particularly down that left hand side. Now Bennett just made his run a split second too early. First time finish, side-footed it from the 6-yard box past the Lithuanian keeper, but it was the right decision. He'd just gone a yard early.
That's a really good move, really good approach play from Ireland. Houraghan and Robinson interchanging really, really well. And when the delivery came in from Manning, just having a look at the two centre halves for Lithuania, I thought initially they had played him offside. When we look at the replay, I mean, the flag did go up straight away. Look at the replay, neither of the defenders had their hands up, and they didn't really know what was going on. So I think off that you're looking at probably really good opportunities here for Ireland to get goals. Ogbenny took his chance, albeit offside.
And here they come again. Ogbenny, a long way out, full of confidence done, takes the shot on from 30 yards, took a deflection off the man Sirnak, the Lithuanian captain who was closest to Ogbenny. That took the sting out of it. 9 minutes gone, Republic of Ireland 0, Lithuania 0, but Ireland really starting to move through the gears now, and you feel there's goals, and maybe quite a few of them for Ireland in this game. Acres of space in the middle of midfield. Howerton again finds Manning over on the left wing. This time he gives it back to the support, which comes from Robinson. Robinson onto his right boot. Dangerous ball in towards Ogbenny. Just tried a little flick to the player behind him, Alan Brown, which didn't work out, and that allows Lithuania to emerge with the ball and just ease the pressure for a split second. Milasius has it on this near side. He goes back then to fight Kunas, and now in the middle of the defence it's Klimavicius.
Again, it's that left hand side, Nathan, isn't it? Everything seems to be coming in there. That's a third or fourth opportunity Manning has had to get a ball in the box. Better delivery on that particular occasion, but Lithuania look a little bit nervous now. The crowd are getting a little bit behind Ireland now. We smell a goal. Lithuania starting to panic a little bit.
Offside flag up against Lithuanian attacker. There's good pace to Ireland's passing in the middle, particularly from Howerton. And again he links up with Ryan Manning, former League of Ireland man, one of many in this Irish squad. Played with Merview United and Galway United before making the move to Queen's Park Rangers back in 2015. And now Darragh Shea decides to step forward. Out it goes on the left hand side is Robinson, and then a little clip of the heels there on Manning gives away a cheap free kick. Ireland want to take it quickly and have taken it quickly. I think Howerton would have preferred to wait and allow him get the set piece, but Robinson turns, shoots and slices that high and wide, and the chance goes a begging for Ireland. 10 minutes gone, still scoreless.
Nothing else in his mind there, was it? Callum Robinson, my God, he's no fear, absolutely no fear. Picked up a ball probably 30 yards out on the left hand side, just got turned and knobbed. One thing in his head, I'm going for the top corner here. Maybe gone to the top corner of the stand, but that's what he brings. Robinson, you know, when you need something, when it's flat, he'll out of nothing, he'll try something, sometimes a little bit off the cuff, but up until now, or as of late, it's certainly been coming off for him.
We talk about that friendly against Qatar has been the template for tonight's game. Callum Robinson scored a hat-trick in that game. 7 international goals now. Both himself and Chiedozie Ogbene. The goals have flowed as freely at international level as they have at club level for them this season. Lithuanian attack comes to nothing. No real conviction to it as Malasius passes the ball straight into the arms of Kelleher. And the fog really starting to settle around Lansdowne Road. Now Collins strides over the halfway line. He goes to Egan and on to the third of that centre half trio, and Darragh O'Shea. Here's Howerhan, looked up and taking up that quarterback position. Will Keane's control again lets him down. It's been a sloppy start for Keane. He gives away another free kick. 2 or 3 opportunities had to get in possession of the ball, and the touch just hasn't been there.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to bounce one back off Howerhan there. First time, 1 touch, Nathan, no real need for him to be taking 2, 3, 4 touches. Just giving Lithuania an opportunity to get around them, win the ball back. That's what's happened there. So he's had an opportunity to get settled in. Keane, he's a couple of loose touches so far, but the crowd, I mean, I think it's interesting now that if that had happened maybe last year or a couple of years ago, you would have kind of got a little bit of a moan and a groan, and maybe these players are being allowed the opportunity to make mistakes, but you don't get away with too many.
Keep an eye on the World Cup playoffs that are taking place as well tonight. Still scoreless between Portugal and North Macedonia, and also in the game between Poland and Sweden. And Egan, Alan Brown, a really tough year, Alan Brown, with injuries, and picked up COVID on a couple of occasions as well. He started and scored the night in Serbia in the Republic of Ireland's first qualifier. It hasn't really featured overly since then, but back in from the start tonight after that goal, an equaliser off the bench at the weekend. Ball into the area for Keane. Strong header from the Lithuanian defender, but they're just struggling to get out of their own half, and again good pressure as Brown got back quickly, manages to win the ball back, and it's played off the Lithuanian player last, and it's a throw in which will be taken by Matt Doherty, more or less on the halfway line. Ireland in green attacking down to our right hand side.
You're talking about Callum Robinson there, Nathan, the difference between club level and international level, the goals he's gotten. You just watch him play for Ireland, he never stops moving. He's just constantly left, right, drifting, moving. It's almost like he has that license to kind of go around and be a nuisance with himself. And his goals for Ireland have kind of come from positions 25 yards out, inside right channel, inside left channel, and he just smacks them, has a chance. I don't wonder, does he get that remit at club level, to go and do what he feels like he's good at doing.
Bennett's just clipped over on the Irish left-hand side, and it'll give Stephen Kenny's team a handy free kick. It is almost in line with the edge of the penalty area. It's about 3-4 yards in from the left-hand touchline, and Conor Howerhan again quickly grabs the ball, and another opportunity for Egan, O'Shea and Collins to head forward. It's just a little bit indisciplined there. There was no need to foul Ogbene.
Yeah, Ogbene's feet was just too quick for him, wasn't he? He was a little bit sloppy from Caracas. Just looking on where this is, Nathan, a real opportunity to work something. We've got 2 players on the edge of the box. Matt Doherty
there again, and Matt Doherty, the 2
on for the pullback. Yeah, it means that area of the pitch is wide in the left, maybe 20 yards out. All the Lithuanians are effectively within the penalty area.
In and around the penalty spot, but Howerhan does go short back to Ryan Manning, hits it first time on the volley, and again volleys it straight over the crossbar. It wasn't actually the best pass.
Wasn't the best pass
from Conor Howerhan. He sold it a little bit short, which meant Manning was stretching and the angle was almost impossible. It probably would have been the greatest Irish goal ever scored.
I'll tell you what, Nate, he's done well to even get as good a connection on that as he did, because not only has put about 4 bobbles on that for him, he's put it in behind them as well. He's had to adjust, but he's wrapped his leg around and he's caught it well. An opportunity gone
to off the ball on this Tuesday night. Nathan Murphy, Stuey Byrne with you here at the Aviva Stadium. Republic of Ireland 0, Lithuania 0 in this international friendly. Been a positive start for the Republic of Ireland. They had the ball in the back of the net through Chiedozie Ogbene, but it was ruled out rightly for offside. 53106 the text number. Good evening to Kieran Boyle, who's listening in from a hot and sweaty St. Augustine in Florida. Not sure if he spotted Tiger Woods heading off to Augusta, but good to have you with us, Kieran.
How warm would it be in Florida now, Nathan?
It's been glorious here, Stewie, for days. What more could you want?
What are we talking?
The humidity would kill you. You wouldn't enjoy it.
I don't like the humidity, I have to say, yeah. It's always the killer.
Ireland comfortably playing it around at the back, more or less on the halfway line. And out it goes again to Robinson, who has drifted past Ryan Manning out to the left-hand side and then plays the ball through down the corner to Howerton. He'll keep it in right down by the corner flag. Back he goes to Robinson again. In now to Darragh O'Shea. O'Shea, little step over. And then Will Keane gives it back to Collins. Collins was urged to shoot but takes the sensible option, gives it to Doherty. Keane has it again, 25 yards out. Now Matt Doherty cutting in from the right hand side. Little ball with the outside of his right boot to Manning, and he whips it first time back then to O'Shea. Good sustained spell of pressure and possession from Ireland. It breaks down though as Robinson just tries to dink one through towards Ogbene. Lithuania had enough numbers back, and Malasius has it, and he then goes back to Vadkunas. However, Doherty's in quickly, and the pressure puts it out of play for a throw-in. A little bit winded from that, I think, Matt Doherty.
It's good stuff from Ireland, Nathan. I know Robinson may be a little bit guilty of just trying the difficult pass, but that 10 or 12 pass move that led up to it was very, very good. One touch, involving an awful lot of players, real pace, really, really good movement of different players, and you can really sense that this Ireland team is moving into that next phase, very comfortable on the ball now. We would have struggled against teams like this in the past. A different story so far this evening.
What a ball out to Ogbene, controlled instantly on the right hand side of the penalty area. It's still at the feet of Ogbene. A couple of little step overs, brings it to the end line. Oh, what a tackle that was. Smashing sliding challenge from Vaidkunas. Ogbene thought he was away down by the end line. Vaidkunas with the sliding tackle had to win it. You were almost waiting for him to get it wrong and the penalty kick to be awarded, but managed to get his toe on it, and it behind it goes for a corner kick down this near side. And the big Irish support behind that Lithuanian goal raised their voice. It will be the left boot of Conor Howerton. Robinson has come short. Howerton ignores him though and makes an absolute mess of the corner kick. That's two poor set pieces in a row for Howerton. Never got it off the ground. Easily cleared by the first defender, and it's cleared all the way to the halfway line. Robinson scampers back, has no choice under a little bit of pressure from Malasius to go back to Kelleher.
Two hands up for that one, Nathan. I think that might have indicated trying to hit Brown at that near post. Brown made the run all right, and he got a couple of yards free. Unfortunately, the delivery was very, very poor. Hardly got above a yard across the ground. Man on the front post just cleared it comfortably. And for a player like Hourahan's ability, especially his ability from set pieces, that's poor from him.
Robinson turns, shoots from a long way out, and again slices it and goes miles over the top of the crossbar. There's no shortage in confidence from these Irish players in the opening 20 minutes of this game to take on shots from distance.
That's the second time he's done that, that ball from the left hand channel. He's kind of turned on it, not really a kind of good side of goal. He's all but 35 yards out there.
Somebody in the stand just trying to rob the ball.
Somebody has the ball.
The camera operator, he's doing a Thierry Henry on it. He's zooming right in on it.
Why is the etiquette here, by the way? Because I know if it's an adult, you have to give it back. But I think if you're a child, under, what would you give it? Under 16? Under 15?
No.
You can keep the ball.
If you're under 8, you can get away with it.
Keep
if you're
the ball,
a 15-year-old and you're trying to rob the ball.
Well, he looked like he was about 11 or 12, didn't he? I think you should keep it.
They'll cost about 120 quid, a proper replica.
We're loaded now. We're a rich country. No bother.
Alright, we're back underway. 20 minutes gone. Still scoreless, but lots of good stuff and a good tempo to this friendly, which is, I guess, all you can really want in matches like this. Oh, that is a bad challenge. And Darragh O'Shea was very late in a pretty wild swipe as well on Lasikas. And I think if this was a competitive game, that would absolutely be a free yellow card.
I certainly underestimate how quickly Lasikas was coming in there, didn't he? I think he might have just gotten away with it because he didn't really lunge, he didn't really bring his feet off the ground, but he certainly, on close-up, A little short swing at it, but no harm done.
Yeah, clearance from John Egan, takes a deflection. It'll be a throw into the Republic of Ireland over on the far side of the pitch.
It's tight, isn't it? You look at it, we've got effectively all 22 players in sort of one quadrant of the pitch. You see Lithuania maybe just trying to frustrate Ireland.
A little bit of casualness maybe creeping into the Irish play in the last couple of minutes, and Matt Doherty is the guilty party, and the end result is a corner kick down to our left hand side to Lithuania. It went from the left hand side crossfield ball. It was played behind Matt Doherty. He had the pace, I thought, to keep it in, but as he hit it with his right boot there was too much on it, and well, that was pretty needless from Ireland.
Yeah, it was Manning's crossfield pass and a throw in. I just mentioned that everyone was kind of in that one quadrant of the pitch, and all they had to do was put it into an area. But
corner kick is sent in deep, goes over everybody's head and is collected by Callum Robinson. He thought he was away, goes to ground, and the referee took a second to make the decision, but eventually does give the free kick to Ireland over on the left hand side. First real opportunity at the midway point of the first half for Lithuania to spend some time in the Irish half. If you've got thoughts on tonight's game or on the Republic of Ireland in general, we've got a very special international edition of League of Ireland Late Night on the Off the Ball Twitter Spaces from 10 o'clock tonight. Myself and Johnny Ward and Shane Keegan will be there. You can call in and give your thoughts, as Ireland again are a little bit off. This time it's Conor Howard who's late with a challenge and another free kick given. And well, this in some ways are the critical moments of the match, because Ireland have started with a real pace and intensity. They've been creating half chances. They've not been giving Lithuania any time in the ball. The last couple of minutes they've been very sloppy, and suddenly the game can sort of die a death, get scrappy, supporters lose interest, and that's the last thing you want.
Yeah, what had been happening up to now, Lithuania probably giving us a little bit too much respect, and we've been getting plenty of time in the ball, and we've been using the ball well, moving it quickly, 1-2 touch, without creating any real clear-cut opportunities. But it looks to me like Lithuania in the last couple of minutes have said, you know what, 21 minutes gone, 22 minutes gone, let's try and step it up here a little bit, put them under a bit of pressure. And that's where the mistakes are starting to come in, and now Lithuania have got a little bit of a swagger about themselves at the moment.
They have the ball on the edge of the area, the shot comes in, but it was deflected. Cernik's shot off his own player, but they have another opportunity out on the right hand side. Timavasius, his ball is intercepted by O'Shea. Manning under pressure from two Lithuanian players. They win it back, whip the ball in straight away, but there was an overhit left foot cross that goes over everybody's head and goes harmlessly out of play for a goal kick to Ireland.
The referee's not happy with some of the words Brown is having with him, or Hourahan. They're complaining a little bit about maybe a foul on Callum Robinson, but having a look at Brown on the ball here. Yeah, he's had a right swipe at him, hasn't he? But Kunis, number 8 for Lithuania.
A little bit better from Lithuania. Next up for them is the Nations League in June. They're in League C. They're in a group alongside Turkey, Luxembourg and the Faroe Islands. They've been in that League C for the first 2 Nations League campaigns. Just about survived last time out, beat Kazakhstan in their last match. Oh, brilliant from Nathan Collins, bringing the ball forward past a couple of players. Quick fire pass from Robinson again, though Will Keane is too slow to get the ball out from under his feet. He's been the one disappointment, you'd say, in the opening 25 minutes from an Irish point of view, but they win it back again. Robinson, left hand side of the area, through to Manning, just can't keep it in play. Flag up on the near side. It'll be a goal kick to Lithuania. That was a real sign of and statement of intent from Nathan Collins, who gets the applause of his captain John Egan. Not afraid at all to step out as centre back, round a couple of players, brought it towards the edge of the area into Robinson. Quick fire ball to Keane. Robinson wanted it back and Keane just couldn't get it out of his feet.
Well, he benefited a little bit, Nathan Collins, from a poor touch actually. He ended up, he sent the Lithuanian player for a can of coke really, because his touch was all over the place. But when he realised the opportunity he had 12-15 yards ahead of him, he certainly surged into it and created that chance that we just had there. It was good interchange again, leading up to Keane on the edge of the box, and just needed an extra touch and got swallowed up by the Lithuanian players, and ended up out with Callum Robinson, that left hand side, and his pass was a little bit overplayed, so that sloppiness is starting to creep in a little bit. I think we need to get back to what we're really good at. And just to even elaborate on the sloppiness, Hourahan's just literally laid off a 10-yard pass to nobody.
Still scoreless between Poland and Sweden, and between Portugal and North Macedonia. Could be A long night in both those games with a place at the World Cup finals at stake. And you might be interested in what's going on in the African section. It's Senegal against Egypt, a repeat of the AFCON final, and it's gone to extra time. Senegal 1-0 up on the night, but 1-1 on aggregate in that game, as Lithuania come forward again. A lot of space for them over on that right hand side. Ball played behind their lone attacker, easily there for Doherty to play back to Keller, and he rolls it out then to the edge of his area to Alan Brown, and Brown helps it on to Doherty again. But after a impressive opening 20 minutes from an Irish point of view, they just started to stutter over the last while.
Well, look at where the Lithuanians are all congested at the moment now, Nathan. They're all in that central area of the pitch, playing with effectively a flat 4-4-2, and I think we're a little bit guilty at the moment of trying to play little intricate passes too central, and there's bodies everywhere. Benny on the ball now, just did well to avoid a tackle, but
cross block down. You get a second bite at it though. Benny on the right hand side, another good block though from the Lithuanian defender. O'Shea has come forward in biting. This time to make a mess of their clearance, and under pressure from Bennett, the Lithuanians have no choice but to play it behind for a corner kick, and maybe this will rise the Irish players.
Now, Hourihan, I wonder if he'll go with one hand or two hands up on this occasion. The last delivery from this position, corner kick, was poor. Chance to make amends.
Denny has the option if he wants of going short to Robinson, who's pleading with him to give it. This time O'Harahan whips it in. The keeper manages to get his hand on it, and gets a good hand on it as well, enough to send it over to the far side of the pitch. It'll be a throw-in to Ireland. Mark Doherty is the player who's gone across and first to get to the ball, and two of the three centre-backs return home, O'Shea and Egan, but Nathan Collins has decided to stay forward.
Why didn't he take the throw in, Nathan? You know what I mean? Like, Doherty had an opportunity to take that throw in, get it going quickly. You know, Lithuania weren't set, and what he's done is he's left it for somebody else.
Well, Robinson tries to slide it through to Collins. Collins is offside though. Either way, the Lithuanians had enough numbers back and managed to get a block in. What could Ireland be doing better?
Just do things a little bit quicker, you know. Just on that occasion, Matt Doherty ended up with the ball from, you know, went out for a throw in on the left hand side from our own corner, and it was Matt Doherty who ended up out there. I know he's out of position because he should be on the right, but he's had a chance to go and to take that throw in quickly. Lithuania weren't set. They were, you know, a little bit, they'd no shape from the corner kick, but he's decided not to take it and give it to somebody else who needs to run over and take it and so on. All this has given Lithuania a chance to get behind the ball, get their shape back, and just the little things.
Alan Brown has the ball, drifting to this right hand side. Ogbene outside him. Matt Doherty almost getting in his way. Brown continues forward to Ogbene. He goes back then to Doherty. First time ball and a nice one through to Robinson. Robinson brings it towards the end line under pressure. Took a bit too much out of it and runs it straight out of play. The Irish players feel they should have a corner kick. It looked like Robinson almost let it run, but the referee has decided that the assistant referee did get it wrong, and has overruled his assistant referee.
That's a new rule, is it? If you shout at the linesman 2 or 3 times, the referee will overrule it. That's bizarre. I've never seen nothing like that before, but let's have a little closer look at it.
It was a hard decision. They've taken the corner kick short this time. Robinson down the right hand side, left-footed cross in. And Collins had made the run in front. The ball was left behind him though, and Lithuania can try and come clear. Crunching challenge though by Brown to win the ball back. Here's Robinson staring down the Lithuanian defender, sends it in early, low towards the 6-yard box, cleared at the edge of it and behind for another corner kick. Woodcast.
First chance in the game to probably get a really good challenge in. Brown on that occasion fully committed to the tackle. Crowd certainly got a lift off it and ended up with Robinson picking it up on that right hand side of the box. Needed a better delivery from him, so the quality delivery to the box has been poor so far, not great.
Here comes better from Hourihan. 4 or 5 Irish players in there challenging, but strong defending from the Lithuanians. And then Lesikas loses it over on the left hand side. Nice little 1-2. Ryan Manning early ball in towards Ogbene, and Ogbene and Keane were both in challenging, and the Lithuania now really starting to feel the strain as Satkis gets it behind for yet another set piece. And Callum Robinson really wants to take some part in these corner kicks, but again is just told to leave it.
Too short here, look.
So Hourihan stands over this ball. Same old story. 3 centre backs or forward. Hourihan goes deep this time towards John Hegan, gets his head on it. The flick didn't come from Will Keane. Lithuania clear towards the halfway line, collected by Manning. Manning then drills across field perfectly onto the chest of Hourihan. He goes back then to Robinson, and Robinson back to the halfway line to Manning, and then in the centre circle all by himself is Doherty. And Ireland are just going to regroup and get back into position. Manning goes over the top, in behind for Ogbene. Flag stays down, forced out to the left hand side. Hourihan to Manning, quick fire ball to Ogbene again. Ogbene looks to bring it towards the end line, sends a dangerous ball in towards Will Keane, who was desperate to get there, just couldn't get past his man, who was forming a human shield between Will Keane and the ball. But better from Ireland again, and starting to up the tempo, and once they do, well, Lithuania are struggling to hold Ireland out, but still scoreless with 32 minutes gone here on Off the Ball. All our football coverage is with thanks to Sky. You can catch the biggest live Premier League games every weekend on Sky Sports. Terry and Susan from Ballinahasig listening in. They're on a road trip across Louisiana on their honeymoon. Come on Ireland, up Cork. Well, you got plenty of Cork players playing at the moment. They might be needed now because Lithuania are on the attack, but just as they were about to shoot for goal, Nathan Collins appeared out of nowhere. Malasius was about to pull the trigger, and maybe you would have seen Caoimhín Kelleher tested for the first time in his game, but Collins crossing the flash, and then he's just caught by the trailing boot of Malasius, and it's a free kick to Ireland inside their own penalty area.
I'd be very disappointed if it isn't a convertible Mustang that those guys are travelling in. Can they let us know?
Let us know, Terry and Susan.
Come on, Terry, Susan. Convertible Mustang.
You want a Thelma and Louise vibe, is that
Thelma, absolutely. Do it in style. But don't do what Thelma and Louise did at the end.
Doherty on the right-hand touchline. I'll be surprised if he plays the full match tonight. Collins again coming forward, and now Ogbene, right-hand side. Cross comes off the heel of the Lithuanian defender, and a throw in for Ireland deep inside the Lithuanian half. I tell you, Nathan Collins has been impressive so far in this game.
I just feel we were getting a bit more joy, a bit more space when we were working down that left-hand side, Nathan with Manning. It's all a little bit tight and introvert and intricate.
Robinson's ball can't find its way. Well, it might eventually find its way to Collins because it was a sliced clearance by Bravkis. Out it goes to Manning. Hourihan whips a dangerous ball in. Keane goes up. It's an inch over his head, and he's left holding his forward as well. There was a bit of a clash of heads between the centre half and Will Keane, and the referee will blow his whistle. You can see with Will Keane, he's just desperate to get in the end of something, and positioning hasn't been great so far.
You've got to give credit to the Lithuanian defenders. They've done very well, Nathan. They've had to deal with probably the 7th or 8th delivery into the box that we've seen, maybe even a little bit more, but they're compacted, the defenders, on that particular occasion. Number 2 certainly put his head in where it was hurt. I think he knew Keane was there, knew he was coming in from behind them, he knew he was going to get hurt. They defended well. They've got to the pitch of the crosses quite well. I don't think there's been one opportunity that Ireland have really looked like scoring off, with the exception of the disallowed goal from Ogbene.
Ireland back underway. Doherty to Ogbene. Ogbene down by the end line, forces yet another corner kick off Malasius. And Conor Hourihan this time just going to walk over slowly. The GPS stats will look good for Conor Hourihan at the end of this. Left to right and back again, taking the set pieces, but I'm sure he's found a head of a green jersey so far.
Well, the set pieces have to count, Nathan, because the way the game has gone now, Lithuania are sitting in, and I mean, this must be, what is our 7th or 8th corner so far?
Hourihan again. In swinger to the near post. No Irish player jumps. He might get another chance as it's headed straight back to him. First time, ball back to Robinson, and across then to Manning, and back to Doherty, and a little touch around the corner from Doherty gives it to Robinson, and he now releases Hourihan on this near side. Hourihan lines up the cross, in swinger to Will Keane. The little flick on, too much on it though from Will Keane, and he heads it over the top of the crossbar.
Yes, that's a wonderful opportunity, Nathan. And consider the game that Keane's had so far, it's been a little bit, just hasn't sort of gotten to the pitch of the ball, had we? That's a wonderful delivery from Hourihan. It's quite a straight ball, and look where Keane finds himself. He just needs a little deft touch, a little flick. I don't think he realised that he had a yard or two. In the end, he's got too much on it, headed it straight over the bar. And
He scored 19 goals in League One this season for Wigan Athletic. Has been everywhere and anywhere since leaving Manchester United 6 years ago. Made 2 Premier League appearances for United. Now Manning again on the left hand side, and he expected Robinson to make the run in behind. Robinson stayed short, and Manning plays the ball out of play for a goal kick to Lithuania. So still scoreless, 9 minutes to go until half time. Bruno Fernandes has scored for Portugal to give them a 1-0 lead against North Macedonia in the World Cup playoff. Still scoreless between Poland and Sweden. Ghana are heading to the World Cup. They've beaten Nigeria on aggregate. Chris Hughton, of course, a big part of the Ghana management team now, so he will be heading to the World Cup. And it looks as though Senegal and Egypt could be heading to penalties once again, just like the AFCON Cup final. Will Mo Salah go a little bit earlier this time? Well, we might have to wait and see. Plenty of friendlies happening tonight as well. Northern Ireland among the teams in action. They're scoreless against Hungary at the moment. England have just gone 1-0 up against Ivory Coast. Scotland, who Ireland will face in June, are 1-0 up away at Austria. And Armenia, who are also in the Republic of Ireland's group, they were beaten 9-0 by Norway, which doesn't bode well for Armenia ahead of the Nations League come June. They had a player sent off very early in that game, and Erling Haaland got a couple of goals in the first half, and a 9-0 victory for Norway. So all that to come, we hope, in June. Right now though, it is still scoreless as the fog really settles in. Bennett on to Doherty again. Almost all the game being played inside the Lithuanian half. Crossfield pass from Doherty is controlled on the chest of Manning. Howrahan slows it down. Back to O'Shea. Every single Irish outfield player is well inside the Lithuanian half right now, including the 3 centre backs. One of them is Collins. He's in possession of the ball. Short pass along the ground to Doherty. Lithuania holding their shape, just getting everyone back, making life very difficult in Ireland so far. Just haven't had that little bit of magic or cunning that is needed to cut them apart. It's a lot of crosses that they're dealing with and getting behind for corner kicks. Howrahan again whips it in straight off the head of the Lithuanian defender. They probably need to try something else.
Just a little bit too obvious from Howrahan, and you can see, we're moving the ball right to left, and when Manning goes to set him up for that cross, Lithuanians can sense that, and they're just putting in the blocks. And that's a couple of occasions in the last couple of minutes they've gotten blocks on crosses or blocks on passes. They're starting to read the Irish game. I'd like to see is maybe just continue to move the ball, just continue to move it and move them around until a clearer opportunity comes our way. Even there, it's too forced from Manning into Robinson. There's 2 or 3 Lithuanians around, kind of snuffing everything out. You shouldn't be afraid to keep the ball for periods of a couple of minutes. Doesn't always have to end up with an opportunity. It will come if you keep it.
After a very bright start, it's died a bit of a death so far in the last 15 or 20 minutes. Still scoreless 5 minutes to go till half time. Route 1 ball from Lithuania, easily dealt with by Egan, and Ireland will start again now with Brown. Howrahan, seen a lot of the ball in this first half. Conor Howrahan gives it to Robinson. He's just hacked down from behind, so it'll be a free kick to Ireland about 10 yards inside the Lithuanian half, and they just need to try and keep the tempo up, take this quickly and get a goal.
They're the ones
one goal to make a huge difference, you feel.
They're the ones where you get hurt, where I think that ball into Robinson, just a little bit too casual on the take, and defenders come right through the back of him, end up with a torn calf or something like that. Luckily enough he's walked away from it, but
and Robinson can't get that ball under control, and for a split second Lithuania thought they might be free down this left hand side, but Cernik couldn't get the ball under control, and back into the Irish half it goes. And we start again with Egan, who's just telling Alan Brown to get forward. You don't need to come back and take the ball off the centre halves. They're more than capable of bringing it forward themselves. Ogbene, who's been very lively throughout. Darrell Shea midway inside the Lithuanian half, and Howrahan whips it out to Manning. Robinson was in front. Looked as though he was in an offside position initially, but just got himself back in time. If you're just joining us, it is still scoreless. You wouldn't say the Irish players have been peppering the Lithuanian goal. They had a couple of long-range efforts off target. Chiedozie Ogbene did have the ball in the back of net from probably Ireland's best passage of play, but he was in an offside position. But maybe they'll get another chance now. Over on the left hand side, in towards Ogbene. A touch from the Lithuanian was an important one, but Ogbene was all alone as that came in from Manning. But Ireland keep it alive with Brown. On to Doherty, little ball with the outside of his right boot into the area, then to Ogbene, back to goal. Out it goes to Brown. First time whip ball is not of good enough quality. It's over everybody's head. It'll be kept in play over on the far side by his central midfield partner Howrahan, but he's under a bit of pressure and has no choice but to go back to Darragh O'Shea. O'Shea is happy to just keep hold of it for a moment before eventually giving it to Egan.
Just mentioned, Nathan, we shouldn't be afraid to keep the ball, and then when that opportunity presents itself, take it. And that's exactly what Hurahan did on that occasion. He spotted that little gap in the Lithuanian defence, got Manning into a wonderful position down that left hand side, but the cross was awful. It was really put a straightforward delivery for a guy of his quality, put it completely behind Ogbene, and Ogbene had sole yard.
Another ball in, and well, we must have seen 24 crosses from left and right from an Irish point of view, and it's become more and more predictable as the half has worn on. The quality hasn't been there really from Manning on the left hand side, and Ireland do just need to try something maybe a bit more through the middle, maybe get a Troy Parrott on and play him just off the striker.
Well, they're trying to play a little bit through the middle, Ireland, but they're not getting much joy because Lithuania have kind of started to read us now, and they're able to set themselves up, try and frustrate us.
And they've just earned themselves a corner kick over on the right hand side, and Baravkis plays it off the backside of Darragh O'Shea. This is where Ireland really need to be careful, because a night that after 15 minutes you're thinking Ireland could rack up a bit of a score,
42-43.
All the momentum that's been built up over the last year can come to a shuddering halt if they were to end up losing this game. Still scoreless though, 2 minutes to go till half time. Corner kick to the Lithuanians in yellow as they attack down to that empty stand down to our left hand side, and there's about 10 players gathered inside the 6-yard box. Whipped in there, Kelleher comes, gets a good fist on that, manages to punch it out to the Irish left hand side. It'll be kept alive though by Slivka, winning his 50th cap tonight for Lithuania. Back they go to the halfway line, ball in behind, but past everybody in yellow and green and into the arms for Kelleher of Liverpool, who instantly rolls the ball to Brown, and Brown brings it slowly up towards the halfway line.
I think maybe when you look at the Irish team, Nathan, I think it was good, decent for the first 15-20 minutes, moved the ball well, one-touch football, good movement from the players, but ultimately this Lithuanian team are starting to get the read on us a little bit, and it's probably not surprising when you look at the level of capped players we have at the pitch at the moment. We've got a couple of, I suppose, low cap players, and not really realising that sometimes at international level, if the gaps aren't there, don't force them, just keep the ball, move the ball. I think the key thing for us, especially in these first 45 minutes, was that we needed to kind of work Lithuania a little bit more, obviously in the hope that towards the end of the game, 70-75 minutes, you can bring on real quality and you can put them to the sword. But you'd like to think that we would have done that. I don't think we have done that to the extent that we should have.
Conor Howrahan winning his 33rd cap tonight, the most experienced Irish player on the pitch. We're into the final seconds of the first half. The throw into Lithuania down the left hand side, sent up along the line, but off the back of Collins, goes to Kelleher, closed down quickly and gives it straight to a Lithuanian player, but his control should allow Darragh O'Shea to intercept, and O'Shea does, and under that pressure fires it straight out of play for what looked like a Lithuanian throw in, but obviously came off the Lithuanian player last, so it'll be a throw in for Ireland. I can't imagine there'll be much injury time at the end of this first half. In fact, they've given the free kick to Ireland and they take it short, and John Egan, the Irish captain, steps out and then blasts the ball away at the end of a frustrating opening 45 minutes for the Republic of Ireland that ends with Stephen Kenny complaining to the court official about the amount of stoppage time at the end of that first half. There was only about 10 seconds. It was the first half that started very brightly for the Republic of Ireland, real intensity and zip to their passing. They were creating chances, the best of them for Shidozi Ogbene, which ended up in the back of the net, but he had just made his run a second too early and was offside as he hammered home from the edge of the 6-yard box. There were some shots from distance from Callum Robinson, and Ireland really looked comfortable for the first 15-20 minutes, and it looked like it was just a matter of time before they scored the opening goal of this game. But it started to get very sloppy around the 20-minute mark. Lithuania very tight at the back, very well structured, and starting to get a bit more joy in attack, and Ireland weren't really able to respond. It's just been an endless cycle of corner kicks and crosses that Lithuania have dealt with ease. So Stephen Kenny, a bit of work to do at half time to try and turn this around. At the break at the Aviva Stadium here on Off the Ball, it is the Republic of Ireland 0, Lithuania 0.
Yeah, thanks, Nathan. So, not the greatest first half, not the one we were hoping for in many respects. Very different tempo to the one Ireland set against Qatar, for instance, in that 4-0 win at home in Dublin against opposition. We were expecting to see goals against. The latest, by the way, in the European World Cup playoffs is that it's half-time. Portugal, Bruno Fernandes 1-0 up against North Macedonia, and still 0-0 between Poland and Sweden. As Nathan mentioned there during the game, Ghana are going to the World Cup. 1-1 draw against Nigeria, but Ghana go through on aggregate. And currently in extra time, Senegal 1-0 up against Egypt is the latest in that game. We'll take a short break. We'll chat a bit to Stuey Byrne in just a moment and update you on all the other football results. Lots of friendlies going on across Europe and beyond this evening.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky. Watch every single live Premier League game on Sky Sports, BT Sport and Premier Sports.
Moncrief.
Sean says, therapists. I remember when it was fashionable for therapists to diagnose what became known as false memory syndrome. That was a blast. Did they do that, Sean? Are you sure?
Moncrief.
Brought to you by Avant Money.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. on News Talk.
Here's a commercial with a lot of T's and C's, but with a very simple message. Switch your motor insurance to AIG, receive a quote online at aig.ie, and get a 65% discount if you're 6 years or over claim-free. Plus a 10% new business discount. Simply put, click, switch, and save. And now the serious bit. Normal underwriting acceptance criteria apply. Applies to new AIG Direct Car customers only. Minimum premium applies. Offer valid until December 31st, 2022. AIG Europe SA is authorised by the Luxembourg Ministry of Finance and supervised by the Luxembourg Commissioner for Insurance and is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland for conduct of business. Think about it. 65% off plus another 10% discount. Thank you, AIG.
Don't miss the big clearance sale at DID Electrical with thousands of last chance to buy savings on home appliances and technology. But hurry, clearance offers at the lowest prices are only while stocks last. Shop Guaranteed Irish at your local DID Electrical and DID.ie.
Greatness isn't something you're born with. It requires work, dedication, self-belief, and support. In 2024, Team Ireland will travel to Paris with the hopes of a nation on their shoulders. And Permanent TSB will be supporting them every step of the way. So when our Olympians and Paralympians take to the world stage, let's come together in raising a nation to greatness. Permanent TSB, proud sponsor of the Irish Olympic team and the Irish Paralympic team.
Your chance to win big. News Talk's cash machine.
Now, unfortunately today, the chosen one missed Barry's call, which means a second rollover. If you've entered since 5 o'clock Friday, you're still in it to win it, but you need to know the new number for tomorrow, because up for grabs is €32,458.23. So €32,458.23. Text the word play to 57599. Cost of entry is €2.50 plus your standard message rate. You must be over 18. You are playing across the Go Loud network of stations. Full terms are on newstalk.com. And again, get your entry in by 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky. Watch big games from the Women's Super League live on Sky Sports.
Kenny out.
Yeah, you're welcome back. You're welcome back to the Aviva Stadium. So 0-0 at half-time between the Republic of Ireland and Lithuania. By the way, just a reminder, join us at Ferryhouse Racecourse to celebrate the 150th running of the Bull Sports Irish Grand National, a special OTB roadshow in Dunboyne Castle Hotel and Spa on Monday 4th of April. So we'll have a stacked guest list. Irish Grand National winners Nina and Paul Carberry, Noel Meade, Robbie Power, Arthur Moore and many more will look back on the race's 150-year history. Some great stories and memories to reflect on. You can check out otbsports.com and our social channels to register. Stuey Byrne, Republic of Ireland 0, Lithuania 0. Been an okay first half. I think the point to emphasise is that Lithuania pose absolutely zero attacking threat. They are living up to their billing as the 137th ranked team in the country, to the extent that actually, even though it's a break with tradition, Stephen Kenny doesn't need 3 centre halves back there. They could very easily take one of them off and stick another body up front to try and unlock the defence or give them another option further up the pitch. I don't think he's going to do that because this team play how they play, and that's fine. But from just to let listeners know, Lithuania are just here to try and get a 0-0 draw, really.
Well, what's happened, Joe, is that Lithuania have started very tentatively. You could see they were having a real look at us, see how we were set up. Yeah, they were playing with a very flat 4-4-2, getting numbers behind the ball. In fact, every player behind the ball. But they've done it quite well, and they have frustrated us to a point that they've only really restricted us to a chance and a half, really.
Yeah.
Benny's chance was a very well worked chance. Took the goal very well, albeit he was offside. But you might even argue that he was offside because the discipline between the two Lithuanian centre halves was such that they allowed him to drift in behind them and duly caught offside. But as the game has gone on, I think we were decent in that first 15-20 minutes, moving the ball very well. There was really good movement from the players, from all the players. Even Hurahan on a couple of occasions seen a gap in behind and said, I'll take that opportunity. Manning was drifting inside, outside. I thought we were working the ball quite well out that left-hand side, and then we suddenly moved away from it. Lithuania, to be given their credit, kind of had a good look at us and said, you know what, they really started to get to the pitch of the ball, started to block crosses, block passes, started to double up on the key players, where Ogbene really didn't get an awful lot of time on the ball in that first half. Maybe had a look at him in the Belgian game and said, look, that's the danger guy.
He's been lively though, Ogbene. He's about our best chance of a goal. And occasionally Callum Robinson takes a ball often from Manning and turns inside, and you feel he could get a shot away. Not so much joy down the right hand side. I don't remember Matt Doherty getting down the right hand side and putting it across at all, really. Ryan Manning's delivery at times has been very, very average. The Ogbene disallowed goal being the real exception. That was a fantastic ball.
Manning looks to me, Joe, like a player who maybe he's been a little bit caught out with the fact that he's gotten so much opportunity down that left hand side to get deliveries into the box. I think he might have 7 or 8 chances. Put 1 or 2 decent balls in, especially for Ogbene's goal, but the others have been poor. I think it ultimately comes down to one thing, a very obvious thing. Stephen has given opportunities here for players to go and impress.
I think the player really who we've learned a little bit about tonight, and it's probably not great news, is Will Keane, because his general play isn't at the pitch required for what Stephen Kenny and this team are trying to do. He'll be useful on occasion if they need to get crosses into a box and chase a game late on, but in general play, Stewie?
No, he hasn't happened for him. Looks a little like he struggled a little bit maybe with the fact that the front three in Ogbene, Callum Robinson and Keane look to me like they've been given the remit to move. You guys can alternate, you can drift in and out, drift left and right. Robinson, we know, can't stand still. That's his game. And at international level, you have to accept that. And this is a player that maybe Keane doesn't work with week in, week out. But you have to accept that he causes problems because he drifts around the pitch. And you have to be constantly aware of where he's moving, because where he's moving, you have to be in a different area. Looks like he's struggled a little bit with that. But on opportunity, when he's had, good ball into feet, or he's had a chance to kind of take a touch, lay it off, he's gotten a little bit confused. Gotten caught a little bit on a couple of occasions with the ball under his feet.
His touch a little sloppy.
Yeah, and it just needs to be a little bit more reactive, move the ball a little bit quicker. Look,
I think something else maybe. Nathan Collins did it on one occasion. The opportunity is there for that Irish back three to take the ball further up the pitch and get everybody further on, because quite often they're giving it to Brown and Howard in the centre circle, and actually there's no need for that, not against this opposition. Collins made a great run forward and got bodies forward, and things opened up a bit more. I think maybe Stephen Kenny might suggest that to his back three.
Yeah, no, so just to kind of elaborate on what you just said there, because the best movement that Collins made was when he found himself in this right full position here. I don't think there's too many opportunities to do it centrally, because Lithuania have fairly compacted that whole area centrally. Now, you mentioned the fact that we play him with this back three why can't we go maybe to a 2? I don't think Stephen wants to really break that continuity of the three.
And nor should he. Nor should he.
He wants to embed that in the team. That's the way we're going to play, with a 3 centre halves and 2 wing backs. So for me, I'd like to see Hourahan maybe involve Manning a little bit more. Yes, I know that some of his deliveries have been poor, but he's there to maybe keep us ticking over, and I'd like to see him getting Manning on the ball a little bit more.
Okay. Well, we're at half-time, 0-0. Ireland dominating in possession stakes, but less so in chances created, and clearly on the goals front, nothing to show for just yet. We're going to take a short break. Second half is on the way with Nathan and Stu.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky. Watch every single live Premier League game on Sky Sports, BT Sport and Premier Sports.
At AIB, we don't make technology for you to bank. We make it for you to live. So you can apply for a credit card through the AIB app or online and get it sent straight to your door. Banking to fit the way you live. AIB, we back doing. Lending criteria, terms and conditions apply. Over 18s only, subject to approval. And at Irish Banks PLC is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
The shape of your future is limited only by the power of your ambition. Now is the time to unleash it. To see where it will take you and what you can achieve. UCD is Ireland's #1 university for graduate employability, with master's degrees that open doors, led by academics and mentors who will guide and inspire you. To fulfill your unique potential and carve your niche in the world, visit ucd.ie/masters.
On the night of April 3rd, we'll all come together to fill out our census forms. And the information you provide will help show where essential services are needed in every part of the country. So on Sunday, April 3rd, be a part of Ireland's future. Be counted. Visit census.ie to find out more.
We don't do stress at the AA. We do car insurance, with peace of mind as standard. We've got a trusted panel of insurers to help you find the right cover at the right price. Plus, you could save up to €180 when you get a quote online. Relax. Yellow and Black have got your back. Deep breath, brace yourself. Discount of up to €180 applies to policies quoted online, subject to a minimum premium of €306.02. Terms and conditions apply. AA Ireland Limited, trading as AA Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky. Watch big games from the Women's Super League live on Sky Sports.
You're very welcome back to the Aviva Stadium. We are 0-0 at half-time between the Republic of Ireland and Lithuania. The Lithuanians back out onto the pitch. The music is blaring, Nathan Murphy, just in case anybody dared have a conversation with anyone beside them.
Whew. I'm now pumped for this second half. We're almost ready to go. We're just waiting for the Republic of Ireland to return. As you said, Lithuania out on the pitch. The disco lights added effect at half-time now. They've darkened it right down. You can really see how foggy it is around the stadium. I don't think it'll impact us. I don't think they'll abandon this game because of the fog. We should survive until the end of the 90 minutes. And we'll see what changes Stephen Kenny makes. You say, Stewie, the conversation you're having, if this was a regular qualifier against the Minnow, you would presumably take a centre-half off and put a forward on, but if you're saying he wants Nathan Collins and Darragh O'Shea to play in a back three to get that experience, because if they play in June, that's what they'll be doing. So is the result or embedding the system more important?
I think I can fully understand the reason why he wants to maintain that continuity in his back five. I think genuinely, Nathan, I think it's the bedrock of how we're going to play going forward. Not just because it gives us solidity with the players that we have available to us. I think it's the best formation for us to play with the players we have available to us. But because of that, I would call it an arc of a back five, really. But that arc allows the likes of a Cullen or a Hendrick, that central two, to get on the ball a little bit more. And to me, you know, that system or that structure or that formation of how you play is so important to us. It has to become second nature. And therefore, these players are getting the opportunity to kind of play in that role. They wouldn't play at that in that kind of setup at club level. So it's very important that they get as much game time as possible at international level.
No changes for the Republic of Ireland at half-time. It seems Lithuania have made a change. Titas Milasius, who looked pretty lively in that first half, down the left-hand side has gone off to be replaced by Donatas Kazlukas. So we are underway in the second half here at the Aviva Stadium. Republic of Ireland playing from right to left as we see it in this second half. Green jerseys, white shorts and green socks. Lithuania, the visitors, are all in yellow. At the Irish side, Kelleher in goal. As a pass is left short by Alan Brown. There could be a chance for Lithuania. The deflected effort though is off John Egan and straight into the arms of Caoimhín Kelleher, the Lithuanian captain. Fedor Cernik, the best chance of the game for them, you'd say, for really sloppy from Alan Brown, giving the ball away, dangerous position. Cernik brought it forward, shot from 25 yards out, but John Egan was across quickly and thankfully took the sting out of it.
Not what you want to see, especially in the first couple of minutes, second half. You can see Ireland certainly trying to play the ball with intent, a little bit of pace in the ball, but Darragh O'Shea just literally knocked it out. I think what's gone wrong here, Nathan, is the balance between the players is just off at the moment. You know, each player not exactly reading where the other player is going to be or where they've been or where they want the ball, so that balance is a little bit off.
In a way, Ireland have been so dominant possession wise, they're probably not in the positions they would have expected to have been in, and that's not giving them an excuse, but you could see it in the first half quite a lot that the three centre halves were telling Alan Brown to go away. He kept dropping deep to take the ball off them, whereas they're making the point, we can bring this ball 10 yards into the opposition half and no one's going to go near us.
Yeah, that's a role that midfielder needs to understand as well, that you know, you don't always have to be on the ball. Sometimes your positioning, your movement can dictate how others play, or you know, where other players can advance into. But again, that comes back to that kind of balance that you might have between the individual players that you have on the pitch at any one time.
So if you are just hopping into the car and you missed the first half, it is scoreless, as I say. Kelleher in goals, back three of Collins, Egan, the captain, and O'Shea. Doherty on the right, Manning on the left, Howard and Brown in the middle, and then Ogbene and Robinson behind Will Keane, who really struggled in that first 45 minutes. Here he is in possession now, and he gives it to Brown, who quickly gives it out to the right hand side to Doherty. On then it goes to Ogbene, back to Collins, and Collins looking for Ogbene, but instead goes short to Doherty. Will Keane drops out of the penalty area, helps it on to Ogbene. Three Irish players waiting inside for the ball to come. Hasn't come so far, and then Doherty is the latest Irish player to give it away cheaply, but deflects back to Nathan Collins. Out it goes to the feet of Ogbene. His cross is straight off the heel of the Lithuanian, and well, it hasn't been the brightest of starts to the second half from an Irish point of view. Egan takes it quickly off Kelleher, and now comes to the left hand side for the first time as Ireland attack down to the left, and time for West Brom's Darragh O'Shea to stride forward. Templeogue man floats it over to Matt Doherty, and now it's Ogbene. Ireland with plenty of possession to start the half. Do they have the quality to create something? Ogbene brings it into the area towards the end line. Still Shidozi Ogbene, and for about the fifth time in this game his cross comes off the backside of a Lithuanian player, and now to play for a throw-in over on the far side, which Matt Doherty will take. In towards Ogbene, finds its way through to Callum Robinson. Robinson trying to squeeze his way through, goes to ground. Half-hearted appeals for a penalty kick. Didn't seem a huge amount in it as the two players went scrapping for the ball. Lithuania are able to clear their lines, but Ireland win it back again. Howrahan, central position inside the Lithuanian half. Will Keane has a little step over and leaves it for Howrahan, and now he rolls it to this near side to Manning. All Ireland at the start of this second half. Manning will get another chance. Quick 1-2 with Callum Robinson. Lithuania playing with essentially a back six at times, and Collins again comes forward. Doherty checks back in onto his left hand side, spins around, will bring it towards the end line, dinks a little ball up, and up goes Alan Brown. It was almost a replica of Saturday. This time though Brown can't get his head on the cross. Collins with the skill, trying to drive his way in from the right hand side, and unfortunately the ball deflects off Nathan Collins and out of play for a goal kick rather than a corner kick.
It's good approach play from Ireland down that right hand side again. Matt Doherty, I felt he probably could have taken that cross on first time. He didn't. Decided to check and managed to rummage his way a little bit of room, got his delivery away, and as you mentioned, Nathan Brown arriving as he does so well, a la his goal against Belgium. But on that occasion, the Lithuanian defender read it as well, stuck his head where his heart, won the header, That's something that they've done extremely well in this game for the first 50 minutes. They've got to the pitch at the crosses. The players sticking their head in where they know they're going to get hurt, not afraid to do it.
Doherty, heavy touch, allows Lithuania to clear it for a throw in midway inside the visitors' half. Over the far side, taken towards Will Keane, just caught in his heels, and Lithuania can clear. Controlled by Brown. Back he goes to Collins. Senegal are heading to the World Cup. Sadio Mane with the winning penalty in a shootout against Egypt. Mo Salah went first this time and missed. In fact, the first 5 penalties were missed in that shootout, but Senegal prevail once again, and they're heading to the World Cup finals. We'll keep you up to date with the other games as well over the course of the second half. Portugal still leading North Macedonia 1-0, scoreless between Poland and Sweden.
He's pondering, Stephen Kenny. Camera just staying on him for a couple of seconds there. You can see he was grimacing, wondering, pondering, what do I do? I think he'll certainly look to maybe change one or two. That balance just a little bit off on the team at the moment. I think Lithuania have effectively picked up where they left off in that first half, maintaining that shape. And there you go again, just picking up very, very straightforward passes into central areas where it's not really on. And for some reason, it always seems to be they're looking for Keane, or they're looking for maybe Robinson centrally, but Lithuania are reading it now, and it's just balls going to yellow jerseys on regular occasion.
Well, we haven't really seen Howerton or Brown at any stage take it past the player. It's always just get it out to the 2 wing backs as quickly as you can.
In trouble here.
And again, a sloppy pass left short by Egan for O'Shea. Crunching challenge from the Lithuanian, which deflects it back to Caoimhín Kelleher.
That pass is never on. I mean, that's up for Egan to see there. He's putting his partner under serious pressure there, but
it's just getting away from Ireland. Still scoreless, 52 minutes gone. Ireland had a shot on target so far. The O'Bennett one obviously doesn't count as he was offside, but I don't remember a single shot on target in the first 52 minutes for all the possession that Ireland have had. Robinson, left-hand side, swings the cross in over the head of O'Bennett and headed behind by Timavicius for the first corner kick of this second half for the Republic of Ireland. And again, it looks as though it'll be Conor Howerton to take it, but this time Robinson takes it short and quickly to Howerton, sends it in deep. O'Bennett goes up, challenges with the keeper. Referee blows his whistle instantly for that tackle on the goalkeeper. The ball sent back in by Doherty, comes off the crossbar. Doesn't matter though, because Shidozi O'Bennett had made the cardinal sin.
Well, listen, this is better from Ireland, taking the corner kick quick. I mean, I don't see what's wrong with that. Look at this. This is something that seems to be creeping into football, where the delivery goes into a goalkeeper, and what we're seeing players out jumping goalkeepers. And keepers are just making a meal of it, and referees are giving the decision against the player trying to head the ball. It's better from Ireland in the fact that we've taken the corner quickly. It means we're trying to shift that Lithuania defence a little bit.
Lithuania go back to the keeper, Bartkus. First time puts his right boot through it, up towards the halfway line. Egan battles away and gets his head on that. Brown wins the 50-50, and this time he does skip away from a challenge. And now there's space for Doherty on the right-hand side if he decides to use it, but he doesn't. Brown brings it on himself, driving towards the edge of the area. Now it's Doherty, in low, comes to Conor Howerton, side-footed effort that finds its way into the back of the net. And the Republic of Ireland finally make their breakthrough, and it's Conor Howerton.
He's given offside, Nathan. Callum Robinson standing in front of the goalkeeper. I don't know why he's waited so long.
Well, I initially thought as well that it would be an offside decision, but they left it so long.
I don't know why he's waited so long. It's crazy.
As you say, Callum Robinson was standing in front of the goalkeeper when Conor Howerton took that side-footed shot. There's no VAR. We have the benefit of a replay.
This is bizarre because you can clearly see he's offside. Robinson, he's right in front of the no, does he touch it? He doesn't. It's been cut back by Matt Doherty, the edge of the box. The Huron takes it for his time.
Right in the goalkeeper's eye line.
Yeah, Robinson's right in the eye line of the goalkeeper. The linesman took, I mean, it must have taken at least 10-12 seconds, did he?
And now Lithuania come up the other end of the pitch on the attack again, though it comes to nothing, and Doherty speeds away, just about stays on his feet under pressure from the challenge. They have another goal, Matt Doherty, and this time the free kick is given. It's going to be a yellow card as well. And with that shot from Conor Hourihane that we thought was a goal has roused the Irish support for the first time in a long time. They needed a little bit of something, and Matt Doherty did very well there.
He did well initially not to stay down, because Slicker had a little go at him on the first occasion. Doherty could have went down, but he didn't. Kept his balance going, got to the pitch of the ball second time, and then Slicker just had a little swipe at him. Deserved booking. But sometimes you need something in a game to happen, Nathan, just to give the players a little bit of a kick up to behind. Hopefully this is it, but I think we just need to kind of inject a little bit of pace into the game.
Stephen Kenny and Keith Andrews have been having a lot of discussions in the technical area in terms of options. Well, a lot of them are the players who came out of the side from Saturday. If he's looking for something different, Troy Parrott is there, Scott Hogan, who's banging goals in the championship, Mark Sykes of Oxford, who's still waiting to make his debut, and Jason Malumbi maybe be looking to get an opportunity as well. 56 minutes gone though, remains scoreless. Ireland 2 goals disallowed for offside, stemming from their 2 best passages of play in the game so far. Hourihane, 25 yards out, drills it in this time, blocked down at close range, cleared all the way up into the Irish half. The ball's spinning awkwardly, but Egan is able to calmly roll it back to Kelleher, and Ireland will need to start once again from the back.
It's a hell of a block. Was it from 21? Was it Klimavicius? And he's centre forward. He was the one that got the block on Hourihane, and ended up running up 60-70 yards of the pitch to get up and try and get it on the end of a Lithuanian attack. Matt Doherty cutting inside now,
weaving his way through. A couple of challenges still there for Matt Doherty. He's around another one. Oh, brilliant save from the keeper. Ogbena sends it back in and sends it right the way across goal and to the left and wide.
Well, finally something different in the game. Matt Doherty wandering inside, just got a little bit of luck, but he's weaved his way past 2 or 3 Lithuanians. He's had a clear shot on goal. He's hit the target, but the keeper's just managed to stick a leg out. I thought he did everything right, Nathan. And it is something different. It caught the Lithuanians off, but caught them by surprise. That's something that they couldn't defend against in terms of their shape. It's a good save from the goalkeeper. Got to give him credit.
Well, Matt became messy there for about 10 seconds. 2-2-3 challenges. Tried to, we'd say he played a 1-2 off the Lithuanian defender. Came back to him, round another tackle. Tried to just put it in at the near post, but it was a fine save from Bartkus, sticking out his left boot to just toe poke it away from Lithuania. But Doherty, central to Ireland's good play over the last few minutes.
You kind of make your own luck, don't you, really?
Manning just about gets away with that pass to Hourihane. It's at the feet of Kelleher. 2 Lithuanian players close up. Lithuania pressing up at the moment. If Ireland can pick the way out of this, there should be some space, and there is over the far side. Doherty is screaming for the ball, and with the left foot it's whipped over there by Kelleher onto Ogbene, just barged over by Klimavicius, and another free kick.
Good defending, Nathan. Klimavicius, number 2 of Lithuania. I mean, he's been one of those players.
That's a yellow card in the competitive
I think
game.
I think he's done well. I think he's leaned in and he's got the ball. I think if you have a look at it again, you'll see it. Letting Ogbene know that he's around, but don't underestimate these. They're being quite well structured.
Here's Will Keane, who's had a quiet first start for Ireland. Back it goes to Hourihane. His ball then is looped over the top of the crossbar by Doherty, who come into a more central position. I don't think Doherty was the initial target from Hourihane's cross, but it's another attempt at goal. In fact, it was Robinson who was in there and just lands on top of the netting above the crossbar.
Well, Hourihane's furious at himself, Nathan, because he knows he's in a good position there to put a good delivery into the box, and he's ended up putting in a scuffy cross and Robinson's trying to take on the turn, and it's all a little bit sloppy and a little bit ratty. Just going back to Lithuania and that how disciplined they've been in defence, especially those 2 centre halves, that back 4. When you look back at the 2 disallowed goals, when you see what where the line of the back 4 is, they're stepping up. They're naturally stepping up, keeping a high line, and that's ultimately what's led to the 2 offside decisions coming.
Manning's control allows the ball roll on to Robinson, and he just runs into danger, and the Lithuanian defender is too strong for Callum Robinson, and there's going to be a change. It's going to be another Lithuanian change though. Agustinius Klimovicius, who scored against San Marino on Friday, is going to be replaced by Ignaz Krisikas for the last half an hour of this game. We're just past the hour mark here on Off the Ball. It is Nathan Murphy and Stewie Byrne with you. We'll have all the reaction on OTB AM tomorrow morning from 7:30 with Jaron Owen. We'll hear from Stephen Kenny in his post-match press conference. But if you want instant reaction and you want to give your thoughts, we're going to be live on the Off the Ball Twitter Spaces from 10 o'clock. An international version of our League of Ireland late night. Myself, Johnny and Shane Keegan will be all over that. You can get your calls in on what you've made of these two international games. That coming your way in just under an hour from 10 o'clock. Right here though, it's still scoreless between the Republic of Ireland and Lithuania. Goals disallowed for offside in the first half from Ogbene, in the second half from Hourahan. They've been Ireland's best attacks of the game so far, in a game that started brightly but has by and large fallen pretty flat.
60 minutes on the clock, Nathan, and Stephen Kenny's wondering now, do I make a change? Have we worked Lithuania enough so that they'll tire it out 70 minutes, 75 minutes? I don't think that is the case. They're on the front foot now, they're moving forward. So he has to now ask himself the question, do I change it? Do I need to introduce a little bit of energy, try and tire these guys out? That's in the hope that maybe 80, 85 minutes those opportunities will come.
John Egan gives away a free kick. It's almost 30 yards from the Irish goal, just on this right hand side.
He's hurt himself from that, Egan. It looks like he's holding his hip flexor a little bit. He's got a little bit of a hobble on his right leg. Just came through the back of the player there.
There's a hefty challenge on Cernik. He gingerly picks himself up. Troy Parrott's about to come on. James McLean is also ready. So a little bit of youth and a little bit of experience about to arrive for the Republic of Ireland, but they need to defend this free kick first. Ireland holding a line right on the edge of the penalty area. Sent in. Shocking delivery. Miles over everybody's head.
I can't understand for the life of me how you can do that at this level.
Goal kick.
Can't understand for the life of me.
To make their changes. So there you hear the first change. Will Keane's first start comes to an end after an hour, and I've no doubt he will be really frustrated with that. Will Keane didn't make any sort of an impact at all, couldn't get to the pace of the game. And the other change sees Dara O'Shea replaced by James McLean. So we may well see Ireland go to a flat back four. Either Manning will go to the left of the three.
Yeah, Manning will go to the left of the three.
So Manning left of the three, McLean playing in the left wing back position, and Troy Parrott taking up the central role in between Robinson and Ogbene. Troy Parrott winning his 12th cap. He turned 20 last month, and speaking last week to the media, talking about his newfound maturity, realising it's a short career and he's going to make the most of it also. An opportunity to make a good impression tonight. And James McLean, who's always there and desperate to pick up whatever caps he can, winning his 90th for Ireland tonight, and he's the man in possession now down this left hand side. Looks for the run in behind, which is made by Troy Parrott, perfectly onto the chest of Parrott on the edge of the area. The Lithuanian defenders were appealing for offside. From this view I thought maybe Parrott had gone a little bit early, but either way his control just brought him into the path of the Lithuanians. Header down by Manning, back to McLean again. He's closed down quickly. It'll be a throw into Ireland, pretty much right on the halfway line.
You can see from the work ethic from Lithuania. Yellow jerseys everywhere at the moment. A bit unlucky in that occasion. James McLean playing a direct pass into Troy Parrott, a little dink over the top. Got the distance, got the pace of it correct. Troy Parrott only on the pitch, maybe a little bit too early for him to take that one on the chest, on the turn as well. Difficult skill to do when you're only on the pitch.
A header from Egan to this near side. Hourahan goes down under the challenge of Slivka, but play is allowed to continue. Nicely done from Lithuania around another challenge. Could be an opportunity here for the visitors. Besikis takes the shot, comes off the back, and then it's smashed in, and the deflection spins to the right and wide. And that was a big opportunity for Lithuania, and Edgaras Utkas, who had the final chance from the edge of the area. Best passage of play we've seen from Lithuania all evening. Initially it was the chance and a shot from Besikis, spun up into the path of Utkus and his shot. Well, really, it could have gone anywhere.
It's a ping pong, wasn't it,
for Ireland, it spun just to the right and behind for a corner kick.
Yeah, the real worry there was that Lithuania, full of confidence, full of energy, creating that opportunity themselves from the fact that they're closing down and they're harrying and they're stopping passes, winning the ball back.
Corner kick sent in and acrobatically sent over the top of the crossbar. It was a scorpion-style effort from Baravkas. The goal kick to Ireland. 65 minutes gone. Still scoreless here between the Republic of Ireland and Lithuania on Tuesday nights off the ball.
And a little reminder to Ireland now that, dangers are there if you don't maintain good pressure. Just a little bit worried now with Manning gone into that left side of that back three, because he's looking to me like he's still got left full in his head and he's drifting forward.
Robinson through one. Bennett goes down on the edge of the area. The referee tells him to get up. Well, it'll be interesting to see a replay on that. Robinson just overhit the pass and Bennett was trying to buy one.
Oh, it's a free. Oh, it's clear free.
Now, I think it was unintentional, was it, from Vaitkunis? Just coming together, but Vaitkunis' knee clips Ogbene's back leg, and that just brings Ogbene down. And I think that should have been, well, either a free kick or a penalty kick. It was pretty much right on the line.
I think it was outside, but it was definitely a free kick. I'm surprised the referee didn't say that. I think he's he's clipped him, and maybe he's deemed that it's accidental.
And free kick to Ireland over on the far side. Stephen Kenny again pondering and looking pensive on the sideline. He'll be desperate for a winner. It changes the post-match conversation quite a bit. Now Brown skips away from a challenge and puts the head down and brings the ball forward over on the far side, the Irish right, as they attack down to our left. Doherty into Howerhan, a little flick of the left boot, but there was nobody there for him and given away too easily. And Lithuania just cleared their lines back into the Irish half. Manning will give it back to Kelleher. That's where Howerhan needs to be better.
If you're looking for a reason why Stephen Kenny, may not have the faith in Howerhan that he'd like to have, that's the exact reason why, Nathan. This is just crazy, stupid little flick around the corner to nobody. The first thing he does is put his hand out as if to blame the player.
Bennett as well, first to show his strength with the shoulder and then skips over the challenge on the right hand touchline. He was going back and now it's floated to this left hand side to McLean. McLean with a little step over, going to bring it towards the end line, sends the cross in, takes a deflection over the top of the crossbar, and Ireland will get themselves another corner kick.
Well, we've had plenty of corners in this game, plenty of opportunities to put a good delivery in. I don't think it's been there. I think it's been a little bit loose. Deep balls are kind of coming down with snow on them, and one hand up from here on this time. I think he's looking to really drill this one into a good area.
Outswinger from Howerhan. McLean goes up, gets his head on it, straight up into the air. Ball bouncing around on the edge of the 6-yard box. Half-hearted appeals for a handball, and then there's a shot taken on from Brown, but there were so many yellow jerseys back there, they almost had a wall of bodies, and the ball is blocked out and collected eventually by the goalkeeper.
Delivery was better on that occasion. McLean just got some sort of a header on it, then it's up in the air. It's head tennis, bodies everywhere, bodies getting blocks everywhere. The one thing that's been a consistency or a constant from Lithuania is that there's always a yellow jersey there, and there's always 5 or 6 yellow jerseys there.
Doherty helps it on to Ogbene. Back to Doherty again over on the Irish right hand side. Well, an Irish supporter just ran onto the pitch, the idiot, when Ireland are on the attack and in a really promising position. Running over towards Queeveen Kelleher, who may well just deck him, falls on his arse, just needs to get on the pitch. Takes out his camera, looking to get a selfie, which he does. The stewards are eventually coming. Queeveen Kelleher happy to oblige. Off he goes again. Now falls again. And well, he's got 4 or 5 stewards around him, and I don't know why he's getting cheered, because Ireland have got themselves into a really promising position and he chose to run onto the pitch wearing a rugby jersey.
I think he's had a few sherbets, has he?
He's delighted with himself, but I don't think the Irish players are too happy with it, because Ireland have built some good momentum over the last 5 or 6 minutes, and they were on the attack and it's come to nothing.
Yeah, look, this has become a regular part of the game. I don't know.
Well, I think he's just done a runner when he got into the stand and has managed to get away with it.
I'm more worried about the fact that he slipped twice when there was no steward around. He needs to do a bit more work on his footwork.
So we're back underway. Well, liven things up a little bit. Looks as though Portugal are heading to the World Cup. They now lead North Macedonia 2-0 with 20 minutes left. And Bruno Fernandes with another goal set up by Diogo Jota. And Poland have just taken a 1-0 lead against Sweden. Robert Lewandowski with a penalty. There's a shot flowed in there by Matt Doherty. Angle was tight, got his boot right underneath it and smashes it miles over the top of the crossbar.
He's done everything so well, Nathan. Just faith to go inside and a lovely little cut back with the outside of his right foot to beat the defender. And he's caught in two minds. You can see he really backed himself, didn't need to have that strike. Never seen him do that before, but it's a wild strike. Better off just maybe dinking that back into an area.
Binglis Carl is wondering if we can put Thierry Henry on the big screen again to spice things up. And it felt like it changed the game on Saturday. Roused everybody from their slumber, but it has felt over the last couple of minutes as though Ireland should get a goal. But again, it's not exactly like they've been peppering this goalkeeper with shots. He's had a quiet enough night, the Lithuanian keeper. Maybe that'll change now. Doherty again, 25 yards out, plays it into Brown, whose control leaves the ball behind him. We felt that was going to be the chance. Perfect pass from Doherty, fizzed it in there into the onrushing Alan Brown. And as he stuck out his right boot, the ball didn't come with him. It was left behind, and Lithuania can clear their lines again.
I wonder, could he have caressed that with the instep, Nathan, on his run? Because he timed his run extremely well. That's the one thing he does very, very well, Brown. He just kind of drifts himself into that area from a forward midfield position. Good delivery from Matt Doherty as well. Had pace on it. Could he just have maybe just guided it, used the pace in the pass, just guided it on his way? First time strike. Certainly would have caught the keeper off. Just decided to try and take a touch with the outside of his right. Too much pace in the pass.
Well, if it stays like this, Lithuania will be delighted with the result, having beaten San Marino on Friday. Played 12 games last year, lost 10 of them, beat Bulgaria, drew with Kuwait, but lost all the rest. But that may change now. Ireland come again. Chance for James McLean. McLean pulls it across, and it's another one for Ogbene that is ruled out for offside.
I think James McLean might be offside. It can't be Ogbene.
It wasn't Ogbene, because Ogbene was behind McLean, and it was James McLean. Ireland attacking with Tarrant, and McLean was a couple of yards offside as the ball was slid through, pulls it back for Ogbene. And for the third time tonight, the Republic of Ireland have a goal disallowed, and well, two of them were straightforward. One of them maybe the Howard effort, a little bit of controversy, but I think it was probably the right move.
It's got to be a little bit critical of McLean there, because I think Parrot's done everything right, Nathan. He's held onto the pass, and what he's done is he's attracted 2 or 3 Lithuanian defenders towards him, and that's given McLean 20 yards of space, and McLean can see that. Just hold your run. You're always going to get there. You're always going to get in there.
73 minutes gone. Ireland 0, Lithuania 0 here at Off the Ball. Better from Ireland over the last 7-8 minutes, but really they need a goal.
This is where the discipline counts, Nathan. You just keep doing the right things, keep prodding, keep the ball, keep moving it, keep just trying to get in behind Lithuania, because there's always going to be games in the future where you get frustrated by teams, and just keep doing the same thing. Keep a kind of a level of consistency in your passing and your movement, and eventually something will come. It'll break down because the legs will get tired last 5 minutes, and it doesn't even matter if it's the last 2 minutes.
Phil and Trim saying, is this not the opposition that would be perfect for Jamie McGrath? Bizarre that he's not in the squad. It certainly was a bit of a surprise that Jamie McGrath went from a player who started both games against Portugal and against Serbia as well, and to not even be in the squad. But he hasn't been playing any first team football, hasn't even been in making the squad for Wigan. Irish attack breaks down again, and Lithuania will try and come on the counter-attack over on the far side of the pitch, not committing a huge amount of men forward. They might still get a chance here as Egan's drawn across him. There's a tackle made, and the referee blows his whistle and is going to book the Lithuanian attacker for a dive. But I'd say there was a sharp intake of breath from John Egan there as Cernic went to ground on the edge of the area.
He's pulled his leg out, and you can see him up here. Have a look at it again, close up, get it out of it. That knew exactly what was coming. He did really well there, Egan, because and the indication of that left leg just being left there definitely would have led to a penalty. The referee spotted it. Egan's done extremely well.
So will we get a goal in the final quarter of an hour? There have been lots of late goals in the Stephen Kenny era already. Paris is wrestled to the ground. Free kick to Ireland just inside the Lithuanian half. Howrahan's in a rush to take it. Sends it over to Collins. Collins then to the feet of Brown. Brown under pressure, loses out. And Lithuania can't get the ball forward though. Collins with the interception. And here he is again. He's had a really good game, Nathan Collins. Of Bene. Tries to bring it down the right-hand side. And manages to win Ireland a throw-in right down by the corner flag, deep inside the Lithuanian half. They take it quickly. Here's Alan Brown on the angle of the edge of the area. Crosses Porto over the head of Robinson, back into the arms of the Lithuanian keeper.
Straightforward enough for Bene. He always seems to attract 2 or 3 towards him, doesn't he? Full of energy, pace, quick and direct. Another Ireland change coming on now.
And Scott Hogan is the player who's going to come on. He's hit double figures in the championship this season with Birmingham. And now there's a little bit of afters here. Just down below us, Troy Parrott is getting involved. It's in the Lithuanian technical area. The referee runs across to tell himself and Rolandas Baryakas to just put it to a halt.
I think Baryakas just really reacted there. I don't think Troy Parrott's done anything there. Just maybe leaned into him a little bit as the ball went out for a throw-in. But
Callum Robinson's night is done. How do you play, Stewie?
He did okay at times. I think he looked like he got a little bit frustrated in this second half. Things weren't really coming off for him. Probably a little bit guilty of holding on to possession for too long, and Lithuania defenders were kind of poking balls off him. He looked like he was probably just getting a little bit frustrated. So play both games now, trying to give someone else an opportunity just to inject a little bit of energy, something different.
Yeah, Scott Hogan's first time been involved under Stephen Kenny. He's had 10 goals in the championship, bringing him back to the attention of the new Ireland manager. Good start, a competitive game against Gibraltar, that 2-0 win under Mick McCarthy. And still waiting for his first international goal. Maybe he can be the hero in the last 13 minutes. Ireland very solid at the back in general. Haven't conceded a lot of goals over the last year, just 8 in almost 12 games now. The goals have been flowing quite freely at the other end, just not tonight, where they've certainly lacked a little bit of something. And they've just started to give it away a lot in midfield. Maybe a bit of fatigue creeping in. And better from Lithuania. A heavy shoulder there from Brown, and Lasikas goes unpunished, and Ireland have it back with Collins. Out again to Doherty. And now Egan has space to bring it up towards the halfway line. Egan goes to his left-hand side to Brown, and then on to McLean. The run is made in behind. Looked as though Hogan might have been in an offside position, but flag stays down. Support is there from Parrott. Back to Brown again. Here is Troy Parrott. Leaves it short behind Scott Hogan, though. Lithuania will clear and then try to redeem himself. Parrott just goes straight through the back of the Lithuanian player and gives away the free kick.
Looks like he didn't want a Hogan, then you can see Parrott was maybe looking to bounce something off him. His touch was a little bit loose, Parrott, but I certainly think Hogan should have been offering him, giving him an option there just to get him a little bit out of trouble. But again, Nathan, it's that ability of Lithuania in a 1v1 situation and a man-marking situation to be able to kind of toe poke loose touches or loose passes. They always seem to be able to get themselves into position to block them. They've done that extremely well. Very disciplined side. You can see they kind of understand that defensive side of the game, not just in terms of getting your shape, but actually winning the ball back. There you go again.
Appeals for a handball there as the Lithuanian player slid in on Matt Doherty. It was a heavy touch from Doherty that allowed him to get the challenge in the first place. And they have given the free kick, actually. Thought he was just going to give the throw in. So this is a decent opportunity for Ireland. It's 25 yards out. It's over on the right-hand side, about 5 yards in from the right-hand touchline. And Ireland have sent forward the two big centre halves as they are now, John Egan and Nathan Collins. And it'll be Alan Brown who'll take the set piece on this occasion.
Just needs to avoid the goalkeeper, Nathan. Keeper's come out and caught a lot, but just avoid the keeper.
So Brown steps up, right-footed, and it did avoid the keeper, but is headed off the forehead of a Lithuanian player to this near side, where it'll be kept in play by McLean. McLean's left-footed cross is headed clear at the near post, only as far as Doherty squeezes through two challenges, but there's enough Lithuanian players back. Howrahan has it there. There's a Lithuanian player down. The referee blows his whistle for no reason, because
this is bizarre.
He's holding, I'm pretty sure he was holding his ankle. There's no reason to stop play at all there.
That's bizarre. And then I thought it was a free kick initially, but the referees let it go, and then for some reason looked back, saw him on the ground, and has given a free kick for the fact that he was down, injured. Is this something in friendly games that you have to do this?
Michael Hammond is asking the question, why do we always play to the level of the opposition? We raise our game for the big teams, we lower it.
Well, I think you have to.
The weaker side.
I think you have to look at the chain. I mean, it's a good point. I mean, and I do think if we had a strong 11 out there, and maybe the team that played on Saturday, we may well have done that. Ogbenning just coming off now for Hendrick, for Jason Knight.
So as you can hear, it is Jason Knight and Jeff Hendrick who are the two players who are coming on. Maybe gives a sense that Stephen Kenny really feels he needs to go and win this. And Alan Brown and Shadoti Bennett, who again gets a huge ovation from the Irish supporters, are the players who come on.
But just going back to the point that the viewer made, you know, it's a team with a lot of change, and I do think if we had our strongest 11 out, we certainly would have played to the better of our abilities. And I do take that point that sometimes when you play against teams that, you know, set themselves up to frustrate you, you have to have something different. You have to have a level of discipline about you to kind of keep prodding, keep maintaining, you know, good possession. I do think if Cullen was playing and if Hendrick were playing, I think it would be a little bit different for us. Hendrick on the pitch now.
Howrahan sends in a cross from very deep. Ball goes past Hendrick. And Lithuania have it then with Krisikas, the substitute. Comes to this near side then to Kazlukas, the other substitute. Ireland get men back behind the ball, and Lithuania forced back into their own half of the pitch. And Manning with a little nudge in the back of Krisikas, who threw himself to the ground. Referee has no interest in that, and play can continue. Hendrick just inside the Lithuania half. Ball through over the top. Oh, and it was almost there, you felt, for Scott Hogan. Couldn't bring it under control. There was pinged in there by Hendrick. It was going to be hard to take it as insect.
That's a hell of a pass from Hendrick as well, only on the pitch. Wonderfully weighted. I was going to be a little bit critical of Hogan there, but to be fair to him, it did get away from him. Plenty of dew on the pitch now. There's a lot of moisture in the air, and it's taking a fair zip as soon as it hit the surface.
It's a goal kick for Lithuania. 7 minutes left, still scoreless. Flick on from Hogan. Can't find a green jersey. And now Ryan Manning helps it on to McLean down this near side. He just hoofs it forward as far as it will go, but too much on that from McLean, and straight back to the Lithuanian keeper.
We're coming up on 84 minutes now. Certainly sense the game is a little bit stretched now, you know, for a lot of people.
It's got very scrappy as Howrahan pounces on a loose ball, but as he threw himself into the challenge, the ferocity of it brought the ball back to the Lithuanian keeper. There's no great pattern to it over the last 10-12 minutes as Ireland have made substitutions. And so Lithuanian manager Valdas Ivanauskas is satisfied with the evening's work from his team. He actually started up front for Lithuania the last time these two sides met, back in 1997 in Vilnius, when Ireland got a much needed 2-1 win. Tony Cascarino scored a late winner, got Ireland to the World Cup playoffs. But just like in the home game in that campaign. Scoreless here in Dublin as it is tonight with just over 5 minutes left. Out it goes to Doherty. Hendrick. Middle inside the Lithuanian half. Out on the right hand side is Jason Knight. Chance to line up the cross. Going to dribble with it to the edge of the area though. Doherty's there again. Little ball to Jeff Hendrick. And I'm not really going anywhere over on that right hand side. Collins has stepped forward from centre back. Into the middle he goes more towards Hourahan. Out to the right again, and Hendrick's cross from deep. Scott Hogan goes up, but the Lithuanian defender gets there first. Collins helps it on. Manning. Irish supporters make a little bit of noise, try to urge their side on to get a winner. McLean stays down from that tackle. Throw-in is the result. Down this near side, the Irish left. On the halfway line is the Ireland captain for the night, John Egan. Doherty has it. Very eager to get in the ball whenever he can in this second half, Matt Doherty. Now it's McLean on this near side. Ireland with all the possession at the moment, but just again still struggling with creativity. McLean thought about taking the cross on, instead goes back, and the support is there. And Parrott, round a couple of challenges, takes the shot on and just didn't get the bend on it. Goes to the right and wide, but it was the right idea from Troy Parrott, cutting in from the left. Just needed to turn his foot around that. Instead he more drilled it to the right and wide. Another change for Lithuania. Chernik, who's the player who was booked for diving earlier in this half, he's been replaced by Sigurdas.
Always had it on his head, didn't he? Troy Parrott, as soon as he picked that ball up on this left hand side, drifting inside, trying to curl one into that far side. Little bit not too dissimilar to what he did against Andorra, but he's obviously trying to make something happen, trying to get a goal, hungry to get a goal. These substitutions now taking the sting out of the game. Momentum always drops as soon as they make them. You can have a look at the pitch now. All 22 players effectively congested into a 30 by 30 square area.
Is there anyone out there tonight who Stephen Kenny will be looking at and thinking, you've forced your way into my team?
No, I've been thinking about it, Nathan, and you know, what's the real takeaway from this? And I think the takeaway is basically that that strength and depth is certainly not there yet. In terms of having made, well, obviously definitely not in terms of having a new 11, but when we make changes we are definitely struggling, and I think we're struggling more so with the balance, not necessarily with the personnel, but the balance in the team isn't right.
Here we go again with Parrott down the left hand side, and he manages to draw the foul. 2.5 minutes of the 90 remaining, and Ireland will have the set piece. Maybe underlines what we were saying before the game of the importance of a Josh Cullen just in that holding midfield, because Brown and Hourahan as a partnership.
But Stephen needs to see it, Nathan. He needs to see, he needs to know who can I trust, who can I play, who's going to fit into this system. And I think he'll certainly come away thinking maybe 2 or 3 are not really. They may not be in his plans, to be quite honest.
Hourahan with the cross from the left hand side, dangerous ball in. No Irish player can get enough on it. Goes out to the far side. Collins through his body, slow to get up. Still over there for Jason Knight. Decent cross. John Egan goes up. Oh, what a save! Brilliant stop down low to his left hand side by Barkas in the Lithuanian goal. Ireland's best chance of the game inside the final 2 minutes. John Egan rose highest, going backwards. Great power behind the header. Did everything right.
He's had to
dig
that one
downwards, and the keeper saved brilliantly.
You're right, Nathan. He did everything right. He's really had to rummage up power from a ball that was going in behind him. You can see the neck muscles moving, just generating as much power on it as he possibly could. And he really worked the goalkeeper. It's a good save from the goalkeeper because it's down low to his left hand side. And Ireland continue on the attack.
Nice down the left hand side. Hogan in the middle. Doherty in there as well. Back it goes to McLean. Block, crosses blocked. Again, it was so well signposted what he was going to do. It was easy for the Lithuanians. Knight does well to spin and turn straight onto the head of a Lithuanian defender. Into the final minute of this friendly, and we're still scoreless. McLean will have another chance, and this time he's got acres of space to line up his cross. Sends it in. Not enough players in there this time from an Irish point of view. Hendrick keeps it alive. Lithuania clear, only as far as Collins, 30 yards out. Little ball then to Doherty. Collins on quickly over to the right hand side. Parrott has it, sort of picking But pockets of space, left and right, Troy Parrott. Matt Doherty now under a bit of pressure. Ireland forced back to their captain, Egan, who almost was the match winner a couple of moments ago. Manning helps it on quickly to McLean. Knight wants it in short. McLean, though, is going to swing the cross in again, straight into a Lithuanian player, but this time it was illegally blocked down by Baravkis, who had his arms raised above his head. And in the final 10 seconds, Ireland will have another chance from a set piece to try and steal victory here. Really, that John Egan opportunity is the only one that will go down as a proper chance. 5 minutes of injury time. Well, maybe that pitch invader did Ireland a favour after all.
I was wondering where 5 minutes came from.
So 5 minutes of injury time. Free kick just on the left-hand side, outside the area. Howrahan sends it in. Oh, it's a terrible delivery, which the goalkeeper dropped, and no Irish player pounced on, and he claims on the goal line, and he's thrown himself down, saying he's injured himself. Howrahan throws his arms up in the air. It hasn't been a great night for Conor Howrahan from set pieces, and geez, he's had 20 of them at this stage.
Yeah, it's another ball. It was just straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. You know, you can consider that in the situation or the position that he was in, a chance to really get a good delivery into the box. But on that occasion and on many other occasions, the quality has been poor. I still have to give credit to the Lithuanians. I think individually, Nathan, not necessarily the way they've been set up, but more individually, and especially those four defenders. They've taken it upon themselves to kind of get to the pitch of the ball. They've won headers all evening, and that's something we haven't done maybe in an attacking sense. You haven't seen somebody saying, you know what, I'm going to take that chance. I'm going to make up those 2 or 3 yards. I'm going to stick my head in there and I'm going to try and get on the end of it. That conviction hasn't really been there. It's certainly been there from a Lithuanian point of view defensively. And
so Nathan Collins is the man of the match. Any great surprise? Is that a good game?
He's played well. He's played well.
First international start, and goes home with the man of the match award, which he'll be happy about. He'll be a whole lot happier if Ireland can somehow get a winner in injury time. The goalkeeper staying down, wasted another minute. Flick on by Hogan towards Knight, but couldn't get enough power on that header. Scott Hogan, it's back with the keeper, sends it downwards again, and the header this time was won by the Lithuanian attacker, but the pace from that just brings the ball back to Caoimhin Keller, who just drops it and leaves it on the edge of his area to Egan. Egan quickly on to Collins, steps over the halfway line and gives it to Jeff Hendrick. Hendrick, ball slightly left behind him, put him in pressure there from Collins. Here he is again, the big Burnley centre half. Hendrick out quickly then to Doherty. Collins steps forward with Doherty. Control initially let him down, but thankfully recovered and managed to turn the ball into a Lithuanian player, so Ireland get a throw in midway inside the Lithuania half. Half of the 5 minutes of injury time is up. McLean in space on this near side again. Going to have a run at the Lithuanian player this time. Brings it to the end line. McCain's cross goes to the back post. Header down by Doherty. Chance there for Troy Parrott. Saved again by the keeper. Acrobatic effort on the volley from Parrott from 12 yards out. Looked destined for the top corner, and the Lithuanian keeper, who hasn't had a whole lot to do all night, has made 2 huge saves right at the end of this game. Not done yet though. Corner kick is the result for Ireland over on the far side. 8 Irish players waiting in the penalty area. Sent in deep by Howrahan. Keeper doesn't claim this time, and Doherty side foots it inches over the top of the crossbar. So close again for a winner. The keeper came from the corner kick, managed to punch it clear. Doherty was just waiting on the edge of the penalty area, and he side footed it, and it hit the stanchion at the back. And it's just not to be.
He's probably just hit it too well, Nathan, hasn't he? The keeper's just come all of 15 yards outside his box to punch that, and it goes straight to Matt Doherty, 25 yards out, and he's caught it sweet on the instep on the volley, and he's zinged it just over the bar.
3 big chances for Ireland to finally get a goal in the last couple of minutes to go with the 3 disallowed goals that Ireland have had during this game. Now, that's not to say that Ireland really deserved to win this. They've dominated possession, but didn't create half enough until we went towards the latter stages of the game. But Egan, Parrott and Doherty would all feel that they could well have won this game for Stephen Kenny's side. Final minute of injury time. Free kick for Lithuania, sent in deep, well dealt with by Ireland, and now they'll be urged forward, and it's Troy Parrott who brings them up towards the halfway line. Parrott runs straight into trouble, though. There was 3 Lithuanian players. He lifted his head and he was just pickpocketed off Troy Parrott, and that allows Lithuania to clear their lines, and that'll probably be it for Ireland, and they just need to make sure they hang on in these latter stages. Manning does well on the edge of his own area to keep hold of possession. Hendrick has it. You can hear what the crowd want him to do. He does go long, straight over the top for Scott Hogan. Hogan has it. He's offside, though, as he puts it into the back of the net. Oh, 4th goal disallowed for offside for Ireland. The assistant referee had his flag up very early. Was he, though? Was he? Oh, it's very tight. I think he was just half a yard off.
He's offside, Nathan.
Disallowed. 4 disallowed goals, 3 great chances at the end. Stephen Kenny will probably say that Ireland deserved to win this 2 or 3-0, whether they did or not.
He will say that, but I'll say it again. You've got to give credit to those centre halves. They have. It's not by mistake that they've ended up in the positions they've been in. The little bit of cuteness there between the two of them, and then we've been guilty of maybe being a little bit keen. Hogan was clearly offside, and to be fair, on that occasion. But when you look back at the others, could we have been a little bit cleverer? I think we might have been, guilty of being a bit over enthusiastic, but
referees allowed play to continue. 95 and a half minutes gone.
He's probably played the minute on from the goalkeeper going down, I'd say, Nathan.
Jason Knight has it on this near side. Round 1 challenge. There might be one last opportunity for the boys in green. Round another challenge goes Jason Knight, brings it to the left hand side of the area, drills across there for the Lithuanian player. Howard heads it down straight to a Lithuanian player again, who slices his clearance. It's bouncing around down by the end line, and that should be that, or maybe the referee will allow the throw in to take place. Well, the Lithuanians are saying blow it up. Ireland continue, and the referee allows them to continue into 96 minutes now. Howrahan's cross is a dangerous one. It's hanging there, comes out to the edge of the area, falls for Parrott. Troy Parrott in the 96th minute from 25 yards out. It's like Steven Gerrard in the cup final. That sort of finish from Troy Parrott to steal a victory and to send the Aviva Stadium absolutely wild. I'm not sure how we're still playing, but nobody wearing green gives a damn right now. Troy Parrott, take a bow. What a finish. Republic of Ireland 1, Lithuania 0.
Oh, I'll have a look at this one again, Nathan, on the replay. Just cut back to Conor Howard and is put into an area, and Lithuania, had they done the whole game, cleared it. Parrott picks it up 25 yards out. Let's rip. I don't know if has it got a little deflection. The keeper looks like he's a little bit unsighted. Looks like he goes down the wrong way. Let's have a look again. No, he's just struck it really well through a load of bodies. Keeper can't see it. Because it's low, keeper can't get down. You have to say it's nothing more than what they deserve. They've been prodding and prodding. Lacked a little bit of luck, but they certainly got it at the end.
Well, the last kick of the game is the most special moment of Troy Parrott's career so far. 25 yards out, an unstoppable volley, a rocket to the back of the Lithuanian net to give the Republic of Ireland victory. Somehow, in the 96th minute, the referee just wanted it to continue. He was waiting for something. We were all waiting for something. I don't think any of us expected it to happen quite like that. And the momentum continues to build. And anybody who stayed on late on this Tuesday night at the Aviva Stadium, they got their full value for money right at the end. Troy Parrott, the match winner. Republic of Ireland 1, Lithuania 0, and somehow it doesn't feel like a friendly in any way at all.
Well, you know what? We're all hoping Troy Parrott is special. That was very special. That was very special indeed. We're going to take a short break and chat with Stuey Byrne in just a moment.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky, watch every single live Premier League game on Sky Sports, BT Sport and Premier Sports.
Have you ever wondered why we laugh?
Now, this is the type of laughter that chimpanzees do.
Or if you can really die of a broken heart.
It's the brain that says, oh, that's painful.
Join Professor Luke O'Neill on the Show Me the Science podcast as he tackles a different issue each week, from the serious to the silly, all explained through science.
Do bulls get angry at the colour